it a little bit, but that's okay.
But I was down in the trenches. When they're underneath the...
You better pay attention.
Get rebounds.
Oh, yeah, you take one to the jugular right there if you're not there. You better stay off your phone down there.
Seats.
That's the no phone zone.
The best seats I've ever had since I've been to a game.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Sustained effort and violence.
There's local politics, bud.
I don't care about the weather. I can't control the weather. Don't want to talk about the weather.
Do we not agree?
Was that supposed to be funny?
Cool, neat story.
It can be a total goat rodeo.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome into Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, talking to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. We are online, pr927fm.com. And you can watch the program today on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube so you can see all of our videos there. A lot of goodies there for you at Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. Got a lot of guests to get to on today's program, including... I hate we do this, after every season, and it's weird to say, but former ECU wide receiver Tyler Snead will join us on the show. He made his announcement on Friday that he would be foregoing the remainder of his time here at East Carolina and entering his name into the NFL draft. So we will talk to Tyler Snead about that decision, his career here at ECU, and what's next for him, what's on the docket. He's graduated, so it's all training and trying to make it to the next level now for Tyler Snead, and we'll talk about how he is attempting to do that. That's coming up in about 20-25 minutes or so. At 4 o'clock, we'll talk to Seymour. He will get you set for East Carolina, Cincinnati coming up on Wednesday night. We'll also preview a little bit of the Memphis game coming up Saturday. Looking forward to that one because we'll be back inside Minges Coliseum, 4 o'clock. The students will be there. They're doing a T-shirt giveaway for the first 2,000 students. So trying to get some butts in the seats, which we have not seen since the students were away. Hopefully it'll be a rowdy atmosphere to welcome in the Memphis Tigers coming up Saturday at 4 o'clock, and hopefully also the Pirates can put together a good performance on the road tomorrow night against Cincinnati. We'll talk about that with Cy Seymour. Also, how does Cy handle these games without being there, these road games? This is the first time in decades that Cy Seymour hadn't traveled on the road, so we'll ask him how he watches these games now that he's at home instead of in the arena for road games. We'll talk to the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. Look at tonight's college basketball card. A lot of good games coming up tonight. We'll go over that and talk some NFL playoffs. That's coming up at around 4:25 or so. And then after that, to end the second hour, we'll talk to Vintavious Cooper, who had a very good and brief career here at East Carolina, coming in as a transfer, became the Pirates' main running back, and put together a 1,000-yard season in 2013, which was the last time we had seen that happen until Keaton Mitchell did it this season. So we will take a walk down memory lane with Vintavious Cooper coming up. And he was the last time East Carolina won a bowl game. He had a big performance in that one. We'll talk to him about that and more coming up at around 4:45. And then at 5 o'clock, Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, will join us in the Pirate Radio studios. Steve Hill says he cannot wait to hear Stephen Igoe on today's show. Stephen Igoe. Stephen Igoe. Stephen Igoe. How said it again? How close was I?
Stephen Igoe.
I wasn't very close.
Don't go so deep.
The man of many voices, Chandler Honeycutt, is here with us. Looking very minty today. Minty fresh. Hello, Chandler.
What's up?
We also got Shirley Rhodes, CJ Schaefer, and intern Jalen back from the grave joining us here as students. You ready for some basketball, Jalen? Coming up Saturday, you gonna be at the game? Yeah,
I will 100% be there Saturday.
100%
In section 213?
100%
On it.
Nah, you don't have to hang out with us old people. You can go hang out with the students. That's fine. As long as he's there.
Would you rather go hang out with the students, or would you rather go and sit with us in the rowdy section 213, baby?
We were the students the last game.
I look while Tristan Newton's putting on a show. I look and clips just like in the aisle where people are trying to like get out. He's in the aisle like, yeah.
Part of that was true. The part that wasn't true was people trying to get out. We were the only people in that section.
Justin was there.
Well, he's part of we.
Oh, okay.
We had Malcolm Gray there for a time, my dad, Justin Bear, and that's about it. That was all that was accounted for.
Yeah, you made up the rowdiest section in the arena.
Facts. All facts. And it was a great finish. And then the Pirates were finished in similar fashion by Temple and Damian Dunn on Saturday. So they're 1-1 in conference play. They'll take on Cincinnati Wednesday night. Let's get to today's rundown. If you have a question, comment, concern, birthday, anniversary, you can chime in Facebook Live or on Twitter, or give us a call, 317-1250. We'll also monitor the YouTube as well if you want to jump in there. John Moody says, I hope Suggs can have a big game tomorrow night. I know
Suggs. He knows what he was asking
Let's
for.
play the hits, baby. John, good stuff. Anytime we can bring the Sug boat back.
Sug.
And I don't know why people get a kick out of kicking dirt on other people. And I'm not talking about kicking dirt on Brandon Suggs. I'm talking about kicking dirt on me. As the Brandon Suggs guy. You know, how many turnovers did Brandon Suggs have on Saturday? 1. It happened towards the end of the game.
Cost us.
It was a big turnover.
It what, Chandler?
What?
It cost who?
Any turnover is costly.
Very good point. Do you want to go over all the turnovers or not?
Yeah, we can. They're all costly.
All right, let's go over every single damn turnover from the game on Saturday.
Maybe we should have edited the score.
And you can tell me if it was costly or not.
Well, that ain't it.
It's going to be costly.
Well, we got to go over them now. All right, Vance Jackson's first turnover. Was that costly?
Costly.
How about his second one?
Costly.
How about Tristan Newton's one turnover?
Costly.
Brandon Suggs.
Why'd you hesitate on that one?
How about his one Brandon Suggs turnover?
Costly.
How about the first turnover by J.J. Miles?
Costly.
How about the second one?
Costly.
How about Brandon Johnson's one turnover?
Costly.
How about Alonzo Frink's first turnover?
Costly.
His second?
Costly.
His third?
Costly.
How about R.J. Felton's first one?
Costly.
And his second one?
You guessed it. Costly.
All right, that was the 12 turnovers ECU committed. One turnover by Brandon Suggs. Phone starts blowing up. I mean, what is wrong with y'all?
With who? Why are you looking at me?
You're part of this.
Oh, wow.
You are a part of this. But I just don't understand why you enjoy other people's misery. I like people to be happy, personally. But some people out there are not happy with themselves, their lives, something going on in their personal lives, and they want everybody to be as miserable as they are.
Family.
And that's just not a way to go through life, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, or anybody else otherwise. This is why nobody else can get on the Sug boat.
You know what? We couldn't get on the Sug boat
anyway. It's a test.
What's the point of kissing his ass if we can't get on the Sug boat?
It's a test.
So does this Sug boat ride around, or is it in port? Because it's just one person on it, isn't it? Isn't that just a waste if you're going around?
I take it out every now and then. Gas prices are outrageous. It's hard to get around on it. But it's a test, Chandler. I wouldn't let you on the boat just to see how you'd respond, how you'd react. You have reacted poorly.
I've stayed on the port and waited to get on the boat, but there is no getting on the boat. I have left the port. There's no more sitting there and being patient. I'm not going to get on the boat, okay?
You don't deserve to be on the boat.
Final.
He gave you a key to get on the boat and you turned it over.
You had a chance to get it back. You get back in my good boat graces, and you didn't.
Costly.
Turnover. How about Chandler's turnover? Was
costly.
It cost me a spot on The Sug Boat.
We had the suite for you too.
Let me ask you this: Who else is on the Sug Boat with you? Who else?
Nobody wants to be. Nobody can handle it.
Was there not somebody that said something about they liked Brandon Suggs and you were like, nah, you can't get on? Fair weather. That happened.
That is a thing that Tony Dunn, I believe you're talking about.
Tony Dunn he was like, I love Brandon Suggs, and you're like, all right, I don't know about loving him, man. I don't know about loving him.
Well, Chandler,
I was like, well, how do you get on the boat?
It's almost as if it's a mythical
It's impossible.
Chandler, let me pitch this to you. If you'd like the extra spot that I have on the Brandon Johnson canoe, you're welcome on.
Oh, God. Hell yeah, I'm on.
Let's go.
You can ask Clip. We have been Brandon Johnson guys from...
Yeah, I'm on that canoe, too.
Oh, cool. Well, then we might have to upgrade.
I'm on the Brandon Suggs Sug Boat, which is well done. I'm on the Brandon Johnson canoe. I'm on the Tristan Newton pontoon. I am on the J.J. Miles speedboat. I am on every piece of watercraft you can get on.
Tremont Robinson White party boat.
Yeah, I'm on that one.
Well, you see, there's all these boats with a lot of people on them, but then there's your Sug Boat with one person on it.
Yeah. Because y'all are non-believers.
One person on it is you.
Y'all are haters and non-believers.
I don't think I'm a hater. I
got proof. I got proof.
I'm just stating the facts, man.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
Anyway, we need to move on.
Things are getting very chippy.
This is, I take this stuff very seriously.
You think?
Redbeard says, I didn't know Pirate Radio was short on toilet paper, but CJ Schaefer's got some on his shoulder. He's got some.
Well,
referring to
he's funny.
The terrible towel.
This is Troy's fault from yesterday when he, I think you were all here. He walked out into this studio and he said he saw my jersey and he said, "Did you play in the game on Sunday?" That kind of influenced me. I tweeted out like
you're not a football player. He wants to make sure everybody here knows they're not a football player.
I was a football player in high school. I was a soccer player.
A football player.
Wait, but you're from Pittsburgh?
No, I'm from the Philippines.
So we had the ECU hockey guys on yesterday, and the one guy was from Pittsburgh. The other guy's last name was Schaefer.
It kept getting weird.
And it's funny because when he said he was from Pittsburgh, and you say, "Hey, CJ, he's one of your guys." Mm-hmm. But CJ,
he probably thought I was from Pittsburgh at that point.
Yeah, but CJ is a Pittsburgh fan. That's what I meant. I'm saying
right.
Well, I knew what you were saying.
Once again, just picking apart everything.
Chandler can't hear you from the port. You're like on the way out, and you're yelling at him, and he can't really hear you.
He don't hear me. He don't feel me. None of it. None of it. You just don't get it. You'll never get it.
I just don't get it.
All right. How seriously do you take that towel stuff?
Nah, I mean,
if I was to
if you were to come over here and stomp on it, I mean, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit.
Okay, I would not do that. The most I might do is take it off and put it in it touches the ground. Do you have to burn it if the terrible towel touches the ground, and then give it a proper flag death?
Exactly.
Towel death. All right. Well, good luck to your Steelers on Sunday night. We'll talk about it more as the week goes on. How about the state of champions? That would be Georgia, the Atlanta Braves, world champions.
Georgia.
And last night, the Georgia Bulldogs win the championship. I had Bama. You had
Bama.
I think we all had Bama.
Yeah. Who did you pick, Shirley?
Who did I pick? Georgia. Because that is that's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
The lights were on the whole time.
Shut up. I picked Georgia. None of you did.
All right. Don't get so fancy over there, Reba. So Georgia wins it in I fell asleep in the into the first quarter.
It was a snoozer for a while, I thought.
I fell asleep. It was 3-0. I woke up. It was 9-3, and I watched the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't miss much during your little nap.
I thought it was. I enjoyed the game just because it was tight. There wasn't a lot of scoring going on or anything.
Yeah.
But credit to Georgia's defense for keeping Bama out of the end zone early. Could have got away from them, but they were able to hang around until their offense finally woke up.
The total did get to 51, which I did not think it was going to get to at all.
I took the under live, and that Yeah, it was not a good night. Not a good night.
But Georgia gets a championship, first national championship for the Bulldogs since 1980.
Hey, great to see the little guy win. Actually, the underdog. I like when the underdogs win. That's why I had Bama last night. The little guy.
Exactly.
And they did not.
Those plucky underdogs.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, Alabama has the best odds to win next year, which
they do every year.
They do every year.
I'll probably say this after every championship, especially ones they don't win. Bama's definitely winning next year. Like, you got that feeling right after the game last night.
It's a revenge tour.
And I was like, all right, way to give one to the SEC East, but next year it's going to be Bama all over again. Same, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. So there you go. I enjoyed the game. It was fun, and it's all over now.
Did you see Nick Saban after the game, smiling ear to ear? I mean, I'm sure happy for his former defensive coordinator, Kirby Smart, but that kind of tells you, he's been there before. He's won, 7 national championships?
Yeah, if he didn't have all those championships or all those millions or everything that he has, he probably wouldn't have been smiling, but that goes to show how many he has won. That he can react like that after losing in a championship game.
Well, it gets pretty easy when you can smile at the coach that did just win. And
also,
think hey, we'll be there next year. You won't.
This is a down year for Alabama, and they were without their top 2 receivers with Williams going down in the game.
This might be one of the worst 2-3 teams they've had in the last decade, and we saw them in the championship game again.
It is almost comical.
That was a terrible injury that wide receiver had for Alabama last night. I cannot believe they kept showing the replay because that was not fun to watch, and they just seemed to keep playing that over and over again. I watched it once.
I watched it once. I had to look down, and I kept looking back up, and you keep showing it.
But Steve says that Clip was on the is a bingy a kind of boat?
A dinghy.
Okay, that's where you got. I was on the Arrow Bingy or Arrow Bingy Dingy. Absolutely, I was. Maybe my all-time favorite pirate, Arrow Bing.
E.
Moving along, any other college football news and notes? That's it, huh? It's a loud noise outside.
That is a helicopter going by.
Everybody hear that?
Take a listen.
I'm on the
now it's the J.J. Miles helicopter because we saw he could fly.
Were you on the Terrence Copper chopper?
Wait.
That's pretty good, Chandler.
That was good.
That's good, Chandler.
I'm so proud of myself.
Okay. If we have any more, please chime in. College basketball tonight. Let's take a look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck. Right now we're watching Fairfield beating Iona by 4, 45-41. Shirley, who is the head coach at Iona?
Iona?
He has coached in the NBA. He's famously coached 2 blue bloods in college basketball.
He's a crook.
He goes to restaurants and doesn't use the...
Rick Pitino.
He doesn't use the table for eating purposes. He does other things on tables in restaurants.
Yeah. That would be Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino is the answer, who I thought was famously the only coach in America still going with the suit and tie. But today he's wearing like a Mr. Rodgers sweater. It's like a button-down sweater. It's an interesting look.
So basically he still looks like a mob guy just in a tracksuit.
He looks like a casual Friday mob guy today.
Yeah.
Do we miss...
He looks like somebody from The Sopranos.
Do we miss college coaches wearing suits? Do we miss that?
No.
I don't.
I'm just an old school guy. I miss the suits.
Well, I mean, you had football coaches that used to wear, ties out on the field.
I think Jack Del Rio did that. Mike Nolan, like recently.
Yeah. But like Mike Ditka was famous for the sweater vest, but he still wore a tie.
Who was the guy at Miami that used to wear the tie? He was there before Mark Richt. Al Golden.
Al Golden, yeah. Do you think college basketball coaches should wear uniforms like baseball managers? I say yes.
I say no.
I think they should wear the shorts. I don't think they should wear like a full-on basketball uniform.
I do.
The warm-ups, yes.
That would
be can you see Coach K in a Duke uniform? That's just embarrassing.
Those little white
Or
legs.
Huggy Bear in a West Virginia uniform?
How awesome would that be?
I'd get a laugh out of it.
I don't think his bare legs have been seen in the 40 years that he's been at Duke.
Has he ever worn shorts? Hey, Shirley.
Hey, Coach, what's your legs look like?
That day he flipped you off in the car, was he wearing shorts?
No, he was not wearing shorts. He was wearing pants.
Okay.
It was also very cold that day.
Wait, can you rehash that story right quick, briefly?
I was in Durham visiting a friend who worked at a drugstore, like a CVS type store. And right next door to that CVS was a dry cleaner. And I was visiting my friend. I was leaving the parking lot, and I was backing out. And as I was backing out, this Jaguar comes flying by, and I almost back into it. Yeah, I almost back into it.
Taylor?
And I was kind of livid about the fact that they came flying into the parking lot because this was a very small lot. So as I'm going around to give the driver a piece of my mind and the single finger salute, I realized it was Coach K getting out of the car and going into the dry cleaner next door. So I almost flipped off Coach K.
Cool, neat story.
Come on, it's all right.
I don't know why you asked me to tell that story again.
I forgot.
Only for you to mock me.
You should have gotten out of the way, Shirley. He's famous.
Neat story.
I like that story.
I literally was coming around and I was rolling down the passenger side window so I could yell across at him. And then as soon as I started to make my turn and he got out of the car, I realized who I was getting ready to yell at. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to yell at him.
CJ,
kept on going.
Did I tell you that Brennan says, tell CJ I said hi from a former Minji's Maniac?
Hello, Brennan.
All right.
It's Brennan Shapiro, I think.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, Brennan.
CJ himself now a former Minji's Maniac. Do you have to? I guess you're officially out of it when you graduate?
Yes.
Man, that's sad.
I left it in good hands.
Whose hands?
Zach Phelps.
Superfan Zach. He's been on Pirate Radio before. Mm-hmm. For his super fandom. He dressed up as baby Elvis, as a little Elvis for a Liberty Bowl back in the day.
Wow, I'm glad I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. We learned that day he was on the show. Tonight in college basketball, by the way, East Carolina, Cincinnati coming up Wednesday night. A lot of top 25 action. Game of the night will probably be the basketball version of the Iron Bowl. Alabama hosting Auburn. Alabama 24th. Auburn is 4th in the country right now.
Good team.
You've also got Baylor, the number 1 team in the country, taking on Texas Tech. Number 9, Kansas host Iowa State. They're 15th. And then Texas hosting Oklahoma. Oklahoma beat somebody good the other night. They beat Iowa State at home, and now Oklahoma will be on the road taking on Texas. And Chris Beard, formerly of Texas Tech, and formerly of Arkansas Little Rock.
The same Oklahoma that the Pirates covered against?
The same very one. I like the way you spun that the Pirates lost to, covered against. That makes it sound better. Way to go.
Hey. Great teams cover.
Last night, a great team won and cover, and that team is the Charlotte Hornets. Back-to-back wins over the Bucks. That's how you do it. After a 0-2 start to the new calendar year, the Charlotte Hornets have won 3 straight, Chandler, and playing some good basketball right now.
Yeah, and absent last night for the Hornets was the hot hand for the Hornets, Kelly Oubre. He entered the safety protocols yesterday, so no Oubre for the Hornets last night against the Bucks. Kind of had me worried there because he, like I said, is the hot hand. He's been hot, especially from beyond the arc, and no problem last night for the Hornets. Well, it did go down to the wire, but Hornets getting 2 wins against the defending champs in 3 days.
LaMelo Ball, the game winner in the lane last night.
Question for you, Chandler. Is LaMelo Ball an all-star this year?
Yes.
Is Miles Bridges?
Yes. And if Kelly Oubre keeps it up,
yes.
All right.
It's Kelly Oubre 6th man of the year.
Yes.
Are you just going to answer yes to all this stuff?
Costly.
Okay, well, it's Tyler Hero, but
what is he?
6th man of the year.
Jerk of the year?
Well, that too.
Jerk.
Nurk, after fighting Nurk. The jerk Nurk of the year?
Well, didn't he start that?
Who?
Jerk?
No.
No.
Yeah, Jerk started it, not Nurk.
Exactly.
Oh,
Nurk set a screen, and then Hero did a push in his back like a coward.
Oh, because he got too hurt.
Review the tape. Hurricanes and Flyers has been postponed tonight.
Dang it.
Yep, so no Canes tonight in Philadelphia. We will talk NFL later on in the show. Right now, we'll take a timeout. When we return, Tyler Snead will join us on the Pirate Radio Live line. We will talk about his decision to make himself eligible for the NFL Draft. That is on the way when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville. Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are two things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Uptown Greenville's newest dining experience is open and ready to serve you. The Sidebar, a Tex-Mex fusion restaurant, offers dinner and weekend brunch. Located at 707 Dickinson Avenue, right beside the DAP House, the Sidebar has indoor dining and patio seating for everyone to enjoy. For the latest information on reservations, menu items, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, are you ready for some Warren's hot dogs? Warren's Original Hot and Judy's Mild Sweet Chili Hot Dogs have been the official hot dog of sports fans for over 30 years. Pick up a tailgate special this football season of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.50 each. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and the new Chocowinity location next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some. Go Pirates.
Hey, Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey dads, it's back. Plan to join us for our 6th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs. This event will be a fun night of games, music, photo keepsakes, raffle tickets, and of course, dancing. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds will go to Daughters for Dads, which supports local families affected by cancer. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Purchase your tickets today by going to eventbrite.com and search for Daughters for Dads. We will see you Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you here on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll talk to a former Pirate coming up next hour, Vintavious Cooper, former EC running back, and now one of the newest former Pirates, going to join us now on the Pirate Radio Live line. He is former ECU wide receiver Tyler Snead, who joins us today on Pirate Radio Live. Tyler, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, sir. Great to talk with you again, and really enjoyed talking to you during the 2021 season. East Carolina gets back to its winning ways, a winning record, and you guys are all set for a bowl game, Tyler, that you end up not playing, and we'll talk about that momentarily. But the biggest news is you are foregoing the remainder of your career at ECU to enter your name into the NFL draft. So, Tyler, how long had you been considering this? I got to assume it wasn't a spur of the moment decision. You had given it a lot of thought, talked to a lot of people. So, when did this idea kind of first creep to your mind? And tell us about the decision to leave East Carolina.
Obviously, whenever Blake did it last year, you were like, oh, okay, because he still had some eligibility left. But throughout the whole year, I didn't really think about it, to be honest. I was just more focused on winning. Like we come in there every Monday and we talk about the team and those guys and how it's just the locker room and the brotherhood that we made. So I was more playing for those guys and just playing for the team. And then I guess whenever we got a little 4-day break coming back in December to see our families right before we left for the bowl game, that's when it was kind of like, not crunch time, but it's kind of like a reality check where the question kind of comes to mind. And so that's when I first started thinking about it, probably midway, early December.
And you mentioned Blake Prohl there, who, man, he was really coming on at in Vikings camp before suffering an injury, and Minnesota did keep him for the entire season despite him not being able to play. So did you reach out to him, Tyler? Who else did you reach out to and kind of weigh your options and get some advice from?
Yeah, I reached out to him just because I consider him one of my best friends, and, he's been my roommate and my teammate for 3 years. But I just reached out to a lot of people that, I trusted and respected their opinions and them as coaches or people. And obviously I reached out. I got a big family. So that was big in supporting me and just talking through them or with them about the whole thing. And then obviously just through prayer and talking to God about it.
Tyler Snead joining us. So Tyler, you have graduated. What's your day-to-day like now as you try to get ready, get yourself in the best possible physical condition for the draft, to talk to scouts, to talk to teams? What's your day-to-day like going to be like now?
Well, I'm hoping I'm trying to find a place to train right now. I should find out sometime today or tomorrow, and then I'll go out there, spend the next couple months, couple weeks doing whatever they got me doing for the program and just combine stuff. So I'm really excited for that and looking forward to it.
Are you planning on and I can't remember the date and when this time frame is. Are you planning on being here for a pro day for NFL scouts when ECU has theirs?
Yes, sir. Definitely be back for that.
Okay, good deal. Tyler Snead joining us. Joe had a question on Facebook Live. If you don't get the advice you want from scouts, is there any reason like you could come back and play another year, or is this 100% final?
I think it's 100% final now.
Yeah.
I think my name is entered into the whole draft, and that process is kind of on the verge of being done. So Yeah, I think it's set in stone final.
Tyler, you have been told probably that you're too little to play football. You're not going to be D1. There's no way you could have 18, 19 catches in a game. All these numbers, be ECU's leading receiver. So you've probably been told that or heard that a lot, and you're going to be also told that the NFL, the odds of making it are slim to none. So you're kind of used to that, right? You're ready for that.
Yes, sir. I grew up with that just all throughout my years of high school, college, and now taking my chance at the pros. I know I'm gonna hear that stuff, but that just fuels me. It drives me to be better, and I feel like like you said, I've been counted out my whole life, and I just feel like God's been preparing me for moments like these, and so I'm excited for the opportunity.
Tyler, I've kind of said, and then this is my opinion. I might be way off. I'll get your take on it since we're talking about you. But I don't know if you could have done anything to raise your stock any higher here at East Carolina. I mean, unless you hit a growth spurt we're not aware of, Tyler, in the next. I don't know if you're going to get much taller. I don't know how much more production you could potentially have to raise the awareness of scouts. Did you kind of feel that way too, that even if you came back and had another 60, 70 catch season, you're a year older, that's more bumps and bruises, did you think maybe now was the best time for you?
Yes, sir. That was definitely one of the topics that we had to look at, and just coming back and having another good year, it would show a better year or another year of consistency, but at the end of the day it wouldn't up my draft stock or up anything like that. It'd just be another year, and like you said, another year older. And so that's definitely something that I took into consideration. But at the end of the day, just the talks with my family and just praying and getting confirmation from God is what ultimately led to my decision.
And Tyler, it's about you're the best decision you can make for yourself, and your teammates and coaches understand that. There's also the hey, man, we're really going to miss you around here. So how difficult were those conversations with your coaches, your teammates, even though they understand that this is what's best for you? Selfishly, the Pirate fans are saying, hey, we want you back here, Tyler. So how difficult was that to have those discussions?
Yeah, that was probably the toughest part for me. Telling your teammates who have been with you for 4 years, 3, 2, just freshmen, it doesn't really matter. You've been there, you're with them every day, working hard with those guys, and you all got the same goal. And so, kind of telling them that was hard. Telling the coaches was hard. It's one of the hardest things I've had to do. But at the end of the day, they made it easier for me, just because they're really supportive. They said they'd miss me, but they're really supportive at the end, and I'm still supportive of them. I'm cheering them on, rooting for them always. So they made it better, but it was definitely tough to do.
A lot of production to make up for, and this happens every year in every sport, and it's the job of Mike Houston and the staff to bring in even better players and fill in those shoes. And you guys had to do it when Blake Pro left. Now the team will have to do it when you leave, Tyler. So what's next? I mean, we know about Josiah Hatfield, and he can make some plays, and maybe his production goes up. Who are some other receivers, Tyler, that are going to have to step up next year in your absence that there on the team?
Macy O'Donnell, he's good. We got a lot of dudes. Kerry King, Jari Patterson, Maceo, Taji Hudson, like you said, Josiah, CJ, all those guys are coming back. We always said all year that we had a really talented receiving room, and if somebody went down, the next guy stepped up. And so that was kind of our mentality all year, and those guys will take that and run with it. But no, those guys will do good. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm still rooting for them, and I'll keep up with them.
A lot of momentum heading into the offseason, Tyler. It could have been even more, but you guys were unable to play in the Military Bowl due to Boston College not participating due to COVID and really other reasons as well, I think. But, man, what was that like when you heard that news on that Sunday morning that you guys would not be able to play in the Military Bowl?
That was hard because it was just like we were in our meetings, doing our regular schedule, about to go ahead to walk through. And they came in with an emergency team meeting, told everybody, and just seeing those seniors, how upset those guys were, that, I mean, those guys were crying. That was hard to see because they wanted to play. You wanted to play for them. And then just how many people were upset that everybody wanted to play. Everybody was there for a reason. Everybody wanted to win for us and for the school and just for everybody. And so it was hard. I was more mad about it, to be honest, just because I wanted to play and I was excited to play and looking forward to it. But, you can't do anything about it now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're looking at it and trying to take it to them next year. We got State first game, so it's another ACC school. Hopefully they carry that momentum on to that game.
Yeah, and you said you were mad, some anger there, some sadness from some guys. Was there a time period, Tyler, where you were like, all right, well, who's coming in? Bring in another team. Let's go to another bowl. Was there any talks about that before it was officially kind of said, all right, the season is over?
Yes, sir. I mean, we were trying to figure it all out. As players, we were like, hey, Virginia, SMU canceled. Can one of them come? And then State got canceled. But
yeah.
At that point, kind of everybody either went their separate ways, kind of went home. Coaches went back. So the possibilities of that happening didn't look too good for us. But there's definitely thought about it, and we were excited.
Tyler Snead joining us today on the Pirate Radio Live line. Really enjoyed talking to Tyler and his teammates this year on Pirate Radio Live following East Carolina football games. And once again, I'll give you credit, Tyler. You and I said this about Holton a lot, but it could be said across the board. You guys came in kind of with the same, mindset and tone that you did after a win, the same you did after a loss. And I think that says a lot about you guys just kind of keeping it consistent, not getting too high, too low. That's important for a football player, right? I think that showed in the interviews we had this year.
Yes, sir. We love doing that. But like you said, just keeping the same mindset. And Coach Houston would always preach, don't drink the Kool-Aid, don't drink the rat poison. Just don't let what everybody else is saying get to your head. Just do what we can do, whether it's win or lose. Next man up, next opponent next week. So I think we did a really good job, especially at the start of the season, just kind of doing that and sticking to it and then eventually turning it around.
Well, Tyler, the one thing I won't miss about you is coming in here on Mondays after a Cowboys win and that grin you have on your face.
Yeah, I got it on right now.
Cowboys-Niners Sunday. That's a good matchup, Tyler. How you feeling about your boys' playoff chances here?
I'm feeling good, but I know how we get, and 49ers are a good team, so we'll see what happens, but I always like to say the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl every year.
Hey, well, you got a shot right now. You got in there, so we'll see how far they can go. Tyler, we wish you the best of luck, man. We'll keep in touch with you, and we'll be rooting for you here from Greenville. It was fun Sunday night to watch some Pirates on the big stage on Sunday Night Football. Zay Jones and Linville Joseph playing for the playoff chance, and you got yourself, Jaquan McMillan, some others hopefully that we can be watching down the road. So we'll be rooting for you, man. We'll keep in touch and talk to you again down the road. But best of luck to you, Tyler, and we'll see you out at Pro Day. We'll talk to you out there, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. There's Tyler Snead joining us today on the Pirate Radio Live line as he, kind of gives his reasons. He talked to his friend Blake Prohl about the situation, and is hoping he can make a team and get on a team. And if he gets that chance and earns that spot, it's going to be tough to get rid of him. So we wish him nothing but the best. And I kind of said it. He said it himself there. He just could he do anything else to raise his stock as an NFL player? Now, he could have came back to ECU and, helped East Carolina win games, go to a bowl, win a bowl, try to get a conference championship. But for his, personal football career, it was best for him to give it a shot right now and not get any more years on him and not get any more bumps and bruises playing college. So selfishly, we want him in the purple and gold. We want him to play here another 2 years, break records, do all that. But for him, he's got to make the best decision for him and his family. And I think he did that, and we'll be rooting for him here, no doubt about it. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some NFL. Panthers fired some coaches, right? Just not the right ones. You know, Chandler, you can make an argument that Matt Rule could be fired. That was one of my favorite moments of the show yesterday. Shirley, I heard you making promos earlier. Did you make that into a promo?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I thought his head was going to explode.
Chandler and I get in a lot of fake arguments like we did in segment 1. Like it's an argument, but it's not real. There's no stakes involved or anything. No. Chandler legitimately got upset when Troy said, you know, you could make an argument Matt Rule could be fired. And Chandler said, an argument? It was great.
I mean,
I think Troy undersold that a little bit.
At first, I had to sit there and think, is he trying to be funny? But I actually think
was that supposed to be funny?
Raising the question, hey, you know what?
Yeah, I was thinking
there
about
might be a chance he could get fired, and there's a pretty good reason. No crap!
See, Chandler and I both, our heads wanted to explode yesterday for two different complete reasons. He wants Matt Rule fired. I didn't want Brian Flores fired.
Yeah. But you can't always get what you want.
Amen to that.
And you know, you can't, and he's not right. I mean, he's not wrong. You can find a way to argue to fire Matt Rule.
You can find.
If you can't find an argument, then something is bad wrong with you.
You're not.
Bad wrong?
Bad wrong.
Bad wrong with you.
Not just wrong.
Something's bad wrong with you.
Bad wrong.
Or as I like to call it, 50 Shades of Wrong.
50 Shades of Wrong. That's exactly right.
We'll take a time out. Come back. Some could argue that shirt Chandler's wearing is 50 Shades of Wrong. But I'm going to say it's right because I like it.
Are you being
the
serious?
mid color.
No,
I like the mid
it.
color. It looks good on
What's
you.
wrong with it?
It is a unique color. It's not a primary color.
It's minty.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
Bring out my eyes.
It's typically a spring color.
Look in my eyes.
You're no spring chicken. All right, we're back after this. Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit qualityequip.com.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers' family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers in Greenville and now open in Winterville.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at CarolinaQualityAir.com.
Domino's week-long carry-out deal means you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day. That's right, $7.99 each, and every day means any day. But just in case there's any confusion, we've set up a helpful website to confirm if today's a day you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each at Domino's. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's week-long carry-out deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes extra large and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks. If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go.
Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get one.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the close to 51,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Alrighty, big weekend NFL playoffs. We got the games here for you on Pirate Radio. 2 games on Saturday. Raiders, Bengals, Patriots, Bills. 3 games on Sunday. Eagles, Bucks, Niners, Cowboys, Steelers, Chiefs. And then coming up Monday night, it is a Monday night wild card game. Cardinals and the Rams. We got we'll dive into some of those games with Jeff Nadu coming up later on in the show. Some NFL news. The Panthers made some moves today. Matt Rule still there. They do have to find an offensive coordinator. I saw Jay Glazer said they were looking for a rock star offensive coordinator. To which I joked, I hope it's Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits. Looking for a rock star.
Rock star. We're going to get a rock star in here.
Chandler, you're becoming more and more like me. I don't know if it's because...
Hey, I can't wait. That might be the little movement that we need to make some noise in the NFC.
It could be one of 2 things. It could be you're hanging around with me too much, or your Panthers are starting to look more and more like the Washington football team organization.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Now, who'd you fire today? Was it an O-line coach?
Yeah, offensive line coach. Cannot remember his name, but I do know that we also fired Chase Blackburn, who has been a part of the organization all the way back to his playing days with the Panthers. So,
what was he? Teams?
Yeah, he was a special teams guy. He's a 2-time world champion with the Giants, and then he came and ended his playing career with the Panthers in Charlotte. And then as soon as his playing career was over, I believe he took a job on the staff with Ron Rivera, and then eventually got moved up to a special teams coordinator and has been there ever since until today. He's been fired along with the offensive line coach, and I can't remember the other coach that got fired, or what the position he coached.
So if you bring in a rock star offensive coordinator, you probably want to get a drummer as O-line coach and then a keyboard player, special teams coordinator?
Yeah, sure. So the Panthers have fired offensive line coach Pat Meyer, special teams coach Chase Blackburn, and defensive line coach Frank Okam.
Frank, you're out of here.
See ya, Frank. You're not rock star material.
You're more of a, I don't know, singer-songwriter, kind of a blues guy, not a rock star. Go to Nashville. Go to the Titans. See if you can hit the country scene.
Do you want to know what Matt Rule said the other day?
Please tell me.
Do you want to know what this guy said?
You know what? Before you say that, this is not good. This is bad because right now Matt Rule is in the position where everybody hates him, and no matter what he says, it's almost like a Mully situation. He could say
that
the
might
grass,
be the dumbest thing.
the grass is green, and Chandler and Tony and Panthers fans would disagree with him and argue it because he can do no right now in Panthers fans' eyes.
No, I would go, okay, at least he knows that. That's a start.
Okay, so you're not completely finished with him yet, but you're almost there. All right, what did he say the other day?
I'm done with that guy, dude. Done with that guy. So Tracy Wolfson with CBS asked him about...
Big fan of Tracy.
Tracy Wolfson. Shout out to Tracy.
Shout out T-Wolf.
She asked Matt Rule about the quarterback sneak that we did with Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
In which he did not get the first down.
Yeah.
Not only did he not get the first down, he fumbled the football. She asked where was Cam in that situation? His answer to that question was that both quarterbacks can do that. That is what he said. That is how he answered the question. That is how much he had the nerve to say that.
The nerve.
A guy who made a living off of punching the football into the end zone or getting that yard, getting those inches to get the first down, 6'5", 250-pound quarterback who will go in the Hall of Fame because of the things that he did like that. But Sam Darnold is just like him, and that's why we went with Sam Darnold. That's the answer you gave to Tracy Wolfson?
Matt Rule has not had a lot of work to work with at the quarterback position, although he's picked these guys, right? Like, has he had a hand in getting Bridgewater, then getting Bridgewater out? Then, well, first of all,
he says he's been involved.
He had a hand in getting Cam out, bringing Bridgewater in, bringing Darnold in, getting Cam back.
You know, a word that our very own Mike Houston likes to say is opportunity.
Opportunity.
Matt Rule loves to say collectively, meaning he is on with everything that goes on behind the scenes.
Everybody's on the same page.
Whether that's draft, that is free agency, that is whatever.
Roster movement.
Roster management. So collectively, he is a part of that group.
Now, so that's on him. He has not had a lot to work with, but the way he has used the quarterbacks has also frustrated Panthers fans because he's gone 2 quarterback system, 3 quarterback system, quarterback sneak with the guy who does not have a strength in that department where you do have a guy on the bench that does. Didn't he take one of the quarterbacks out after a scoring drive and put in the other one? Like, the game management, the QB management in game has not been good either.
You know what? And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to admit this. I don't think I watched the whole game on Sunday. Why would I? I don't think, if somebody can correct me if Susan Deans is listening, I don't think Cam had a snap on Sunday. He might have. The prior game to that game this past Sunday was the Saints at the Saints. Cam Newton played 1 snap. He came in and played 1 snap and ran for maybe 4 or 5 yards, and that was the end of Cam Newton. And get this clip, that might be the end of Cam Newton in Carolina.
Well, it should be.
It should be, but the way that this has been handled, do you know what I'm saying? This is a guy that has brought so much to this franchise and to this city, and the way that he was just totally disrespected by Matt Rule, by the franchise in general.
I know, but he wasn't any good either.
I'm not saying he's good, but what's better than Sam Darnold? What's better than a P.J. Walker?
Yeah.
Who we just re-signed yesterday.
And the thing is, we could talk about all this, but Tony Dunn says none of it matters, and he's shutting down every conversation and said none of this matters till you get an O-line. He won't even discuss quarterbacks anymore.
I don't like talking about the quarterback situation because the offensive line is so bad, and that is definitely the priority. And thank God that Matt Rule and hopefully Scott Fitterer and David Tepper, who just needs to get out of the way.
This is Washington football. This is Snyder.
That is the off-season priority for the Panthers. And let me tell you something. As the cookie has been crumbling, as the snowball effect has been happening ever since week 4, I have thought, man, what direction can this go in similar fashions? I thought about maybe the Jets. I thought about maybe like a Miami Dolphins franchise. Then my final thought was, well, I work with a guy who is a Washington football team fan and talks about nothing but the mismanagement of a franchise with Dan Snyder. And I said, I see this happening if things don't improve.
Yeah.
If things don't get back on track. You know, we talk about the Panthers culture, to me, as a fan, has changed in a bad way, in a very bad way. And I don't like change, and I especially don't like this change. Because what the culture, since David Tepper has bought the Panthers, since he has bought the Panthers, is losing football.
Hey.
That is the culture.
Sometimes you just don't realize how good Jeans Friday truly was there in Charlotte.
You know, I miss Jeans Friday. I wish we had Jeans Friday back.
Well, maybe we can start it here at Pirate Radio and see what happens. Maybe it'll turn things around. I want to see you in your best jeans.
But seriously, Clip, this could get ugly.
It could get. Now I'm gonna be like you. Oh, you think it could get ugly?
What I mean is, it could get ugly and it could stay ugly for a long time.
Yeah. A dark cloud in Mecklenburg County. Is that where it is? Charlotte? Mecklenburg? Mecklenburg County?
Yep, that's Charlotte.
All right, just making sure. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back when we return. Seymour joins us on the Pirate Radio Live line. We'll talk Pirate Hoops, East Carolina, Cincinnati, coming up on Wednesday. Then the Pirates are back home against Memphis on Saturday. We'll talk about it all with Cy when we return after this.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fossil from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. As real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly. Not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. IRC Beer. St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir. Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game? Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won. It's still the first quarter. I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that. Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at Arc Point Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust Arc Point Labs to give you quick and accurate results for all your laboratory testing needs. If you are in need of COVID testing for your return to school, work, or for travel, ArcPoint Labs is offering same-day PCR and antigen testing with little to no wait time. Please visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or make an appointment now at onehourcovidresults.com. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bells Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. They do brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World, across from Speedway at Bells Fork, and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rodgers for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, let's talk some Pirate Hoops here on Pirate Radio Live. It'll be ECU Cincinnati Wednesday night on the road. Pirates are back home Saturday, taking on the Memphis Tigers, 4 o'clock in Minges Coliseum. We'll talk about the season thus far and look ahead with Seymour, color analyst for the Pirate home games on ESPN+. He joins us here today on Pirate Radio Live. How you doing, man?
Doing great. A little cool, but other than that, pretty good. Everything's fine.
Yes, sir. And man, 2 games down in the American and 2 games right down to the wire. You live by the clutch 3, you die by the clutch 3, and we've been on both sides of it. Starting off this conference season, East Carolina wins the thriller in Minges last Wednesday. Tristan Newton took over at the end, and then on the flip side, Damian Dunn was not going to let his team lose when the Pirates lost to Temple on Saturday. So how about that side? 2 games going right down to the wire. The Pirates are on the right side of one of them and the wrong side of the other.
Well, I think that's the way this league is. I mean, they're going to be a lot down. You can get blown out. You can have one of those nights where you're not playing well. But this league has got a lot of teams that on any given night, anybody can win and anybody can lose. And ECU, right in the thick of it, it's one of those you look back on and you say, couple of bad stretches, and we're 2-0. And guess what Tulane said when they left here? Couple of bad stretches, and we're 3-0.
Yep.
That's how close it all is this year. But I thought Joe Dooley's ball club played well at Temple and had chances to win it, just couldn't pull it out.
And this is not unique to East Carolina, but it seems like it's happened a lot this year and really a lot over the years. And I think you could see it with all teams, but these droughts that the Pirates go on, and we've seen it in the second half. You look at the losses East Carolina's had. They I think Oklahoma hit a late shot to take the lead at halftime, but it was right there, neck and neck at halftime. Pirates had a lead over Davidson at the half, lead over Liberty at the half, and then against Temple had a good first half, but had that second half drought. And I always see how, if we could just figure out how to not have that 3, 4, 5 minute drought that we seem to have every game, things will be all right. Well, I'm sure Joe Dooley's trying to figure that out too. But, is there a reason for that? Is that just basketball? Why does that seem to happen to the Pirates, Si?
Well, I think it happens. I think you said it right from the go. It happens to everyone. But it seems to me, and this is just me, I think there are more runs now. I think it seems to me like there are more times in which you cool down. And one of the things about that I think about may affect it, so many transfer portal kids are not, you're not inconsistent over a 4-year period. This is what we're going to do. You may have a run, and then all of a sudden the chemistry's not where it should be, where if you were together for 3 or 4 years, it would be more of a consistency and that type of deal. But especially this year, whether it be Virginia with Jaden fitting in, or whether it be East Carolina with their guys fitting in, or Temple. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, or Tulane. You get different pieces of the puzzle, and all of a sudden you disappear, but then all of a sudden you come back with a vengeance. I think it's lack of being together as teams for a long period of time. That's got something to do with it.
Yeah, and it's I guess what makes it frustrating, Si, you look at that Tulane game, East Carolina hadn't been able to practice a lot together. They come out, I think the stat was like 11 assists on 12 made field goals, or 16 assists on 17 made field goals. That it was some of the best passing I'd seen. And then the first half against Temple, they came out the same way, playing great as a team. So there are signs, that very positive signs for this team, that at times they have played very well together on the court.
It's unbelievable. Look, Mosher comes in there the other day.
Yeah,
it's like an NBA passer. I mean, he's just making great passes. Joe saw something that Coach Dooley saw something he liked, used it, and it worked. It may not work in the next game. It may not work in the next 3 minutes. And it also comes into play as matchups, how things work. But that game, I remember we were at the under-12 media timeout, 8 assists on 8 field goals.
Yeah.
At that particular time, it was just like a textbook as far as things go. But you're right. I do think though things change. People put in subs that can match up better. You run into a little bit of problems, and you got to figure it out. I think that's what goes on.
Evidence of something we've talked about quite a bit this year, Si, that a different Pirate could step up on any given night. I did not have the leading scorers in Philadelphia being Alonzo Frank and Tremont Robinson White, but Frank had 15 off the bench. White with 14 played a good offensive game after struggling offensively against Tulane, but having his hand and tipping balls and playing good defense, so he was able to bounce back offensively. And once again, Si, you just never know. I mean, it was Tristan Newton on Wednesday night. Newton did it more with the passing and rebounding against Temple instead of the scoring, but got some help from his buddies, and a good day back for Frank. And once again, Tremont Robinson White with 14 big points.
Yeah, Tristan, we look at him, 9 assists and 1 turnover.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable what he did. But I was happy for Tremont, because Tremont is one of your best defenders. I thought he played great all day long. He hit a clutch 3 down the stretch from the corner. Then he's got a steal and made the layup, and then he had to go to the line. And he's not been there like this. And he knocked down the free throw. I thought Tremont had a great game. Alonzo has just been coming. His biggest problem is he's been hurt, and then the COVID protocol. But Frank is a good, solid big man, and he showed it the other day. And the only reason he probably had to limit his minutes, he got tired. He's not been able to go. But I thought Zoe played great. I really thought he played the way in 21 minutes he did that. Think about what he did in 21 minutes, and he got tired. But overall, I thought ECU really played a good ball game, had chances to win. I love the consistency of Brandon Johnson as a freshman. I love R.J. Felton as freshman. Those two kids don't play like freshmen. You got to look at the future, and you look at these guys, and they're playing pretty darn good. Can they slip up and get a win on the road against high-quality competition? And this week is a tough week.
It is, and you got one of those teams in Cincinnati that, what is Cincinnati in year one of Wes Miller? Tulane went there, controlled the game, had them blown out, and the score was probably not as close as it really was in the game. It ended up like an 8-point margin, but Tulane dominated that game. Then they turn around their next game, and they're up in the first half over SMU by 20. So it's one of those things that any given night you just don't know what a team's going to bring to the table. I think Cincinnati's gettable on the road, but at the same time, size, they showed they can beat a good team at home and beat them bad. So I don't know. What do you think about the Bearcats this year and this game coming up Wednesday?
First of all, I think Wes Miller's a great fit there and a good coach. I like Wes at UNCG. And the reason I say that, I saw him, my son was at Wake Forest coaching, and I saw his recruiting tactics, and I thought they were great. They went to the high school coaches a lot instead of the AAU coaches. They were in close contact with different coaches in the Cap 8 area, and his assistants were good, and he's good with kids. I think Wes is a good coach. Throw that right out there. And then when you look up what you said, you got to try to figure this all out. He beats Illinois by 20 early in the year. And the other day, Jeremiah Davenport goes 7 for 10 from 3 against Memphis, who's arguably one of the best defensive teams in the country. And Davenport, before that game, was somewhere in the 32, 33 3-point range. He hit 7 of 10 threes against a good Memphis team. I think Wes's team's going to be good. I think you better bring your A game, but they're not sure what's going to show up for them either. You said it right. Are they off that day? Are they not playing well? That's what they run into. Do they have talent? Yes, they were picked 4th in this league. This is a team that can really beat you. They've got great tradition, great players, and now they have a really coach that fits that mold. Can you beat them? You got to shoot lights out on the road, not turn the ball over, and hope they have a bad night against top teams. That's what ECU has to hope for.
Cy, looks like a league that is just going to eat each other up, and I don't know what that's going to mean for postseason play and NCAA tournament play. It's still early, a lot of basketball left to go, but it's going to get late quick as we sit here in January. It's going to turn into February, and then who's left standing in March? Houston will be there, but night in, night out. I mean, these teams, UCF right now is 1-2. They were looked at as a tournament team. You got SMU 2-1, but again, they got blown out on the road last week by Cincinnati, who is 1-2 right now. Wichita State's 0-2. So it's they might be hurting themselves by being so competitive and so good across the board that at the end of this thing, I don't know who's going to have a really good record, and you just hope they've done enough to for the committee to let them in the NCAA tournament. But I don't know what the record's going to look like in this conference beyond Houston.
Well, no, you are right on it. I think personally, this league got shafted last year. They took 2 teams, Wichita State and then Houston, who goes to the Final Four. Wichita State got beat out early. Memphis should have been there. They go to the NIT and win it going away. Mm-hmm. So you look at that and you say, where does it go? Do you get a little bit more influence? And you had a good preseason. That's the other thing. This league had a good preseason. Saying all that, you're not one of the prestigious what they call Power 5 leagues, but I would think right now they're saying you might get 2 in. This league is a 3 to 4 bid league, but they're going to knock each other off and put themselves out of it, and that's going to be the problem. I mean, right now, Wichita State's 0-2. I mean, it is that kind of schedule that's going to be, like you said, we could eat each other up. Maybe something comes up, and then you've got a bargain in the meetings. And when you look at preseason schedules, our strength of schedule, our teams did pretty darn well. But I don't know, Cliff. It can go either way. I know this, that when you're playing what we consider the top 4, Houston, Memphis, Cincinnati, and Wichita State, and then throw UCF right there too, it's tough.
Yeah.
Those are 5 teams that get in the NCAA.
Pirates in the middle of a tough stretch here on the road once again at Cincinnati, and then Memphis at home, and you'll finally have the students back for that one. Size should be a pretty good crowd Saturday, 4 o'clock when Memphis rolls into Minges, and looking forward to seeing not only the talent they have on the court, but also the sideshow they bring along. Of course, with Penny Hardaway, with Larry Brown and Rasheed Wallace on the bench there for the Tigers.
Yeah, I love Larry Brown. I just think I think he is one of the best basketball coaches on the floor and teaching that I've seen. He's really good. I mean, he's just really good. Of course, Joe has a connection with him with the Kansas situation, but I'm just saying, Larry Brown, what he did at SMU and brought that program around was just a thing of beauty. And I think what he's doing with Memphis is trying to calm the young kids down, pat them on the back, and then in practice he teaches them. And I'm telling you, that's a great guy to have on your bench. He is a tremendous coach, and Hardaway is a great recruiter. Between the two of them, if they can hold it together and get through these games, they've got a good shot too. Right now, to me, when I looked at them against Cincinnati, the thing that they missed, it seemed like they didn't click as far as moving the basketball. They look at, size-wise, the point guard does a good job sometime, and then they don't, and they're trying to figure it out too. But I can tell you this, Larry Brown will figure it out. He's a really good coach, and it should be a lot of fun when they come in there, and people really need to come out. That team is one of the top 5 talented teams in the country. You need to come watch the game, and Joe Dooley's doing a great job with ECU. People should come watch this ball game.
I think it's going to be a fun one, Si, coming up Saturday, 4 o'clock in Minji. Si, I'm curious, in years past, games like Saturday, you're sitting there with Jeff Charles, and it's coming down the stretch, and you're saying, all right, Jeff, you don't want to foul, make sure you watch Dunn. But now that you're doing home games on ESPN Plus, you're not there for the road games. So how in the heck were you watching that one on Saturday? What are you doing now on these road games, Si, where you're not on the call? You got to be pacing around the house, I would imagine.
It's tough. I'm listening to Jeff. I'm watching television. I'm writing everything down. It's crazy when it's a game and I'm not there.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, I miss it, but I don't miss it. Let me tell you this, Clip, and this is something you need to know. This is what these kids go through. They did not charter to Philadelphia. That game was played at 2 o'clock. It ended about 4. They got into Raleigh-Durham somewhere around 10, okay? Now, think about what I'm saying. If you're on a charter, you're probably home by 7 or 8. They got back to Raleigh-Durham by 10, hit the Hurricanes traffic, took another 30 to 40 minutes because they were in line just trying to get down I-40.
Yeah.
Then they hit a wreck traffic. Jeff told me when he hit his bid, it was 12:20.
Man.
Informal.
So you miss it, but then when you're kicked up on the couch at 4 o'clock after the game, you don't miss it that much.
Yeah. And listen, I tell you what you do. You say, Jeff Charles is tough as nails.
Yeah.
He'll do it. He'll be there. He'll be ready to go today. They head to Cincinnati, and I just admire what he does. And I love our ball club. I love what Joe Dooley's doing, and Mike's doing a great job as a color guy. He's doing wonderful. But I'm enjoying working with Patrick and getting home and resting. It's a lot of fun, but the truth is, I miss every play that I can't see or there. But I'm looking forward to Saturday, just like you. We love the game.
Yeah.
Love ECU and enjoy every minute of it.
And, man, we've had some great games to watch this year, down to the wire, and the Pirates have won a few of them, lost a few of them. We'll see what happens this week against some good opponents in Cincinnati and Memphis. Coming up on Sunday will be 49ers fans, so break out your Montana and Steve Young jersey and root against the Cowboys. That's what we got going right now, right?
Well, we finished so strong in the month of January. Wish we had another.
Well, you could argue Washington's the hottest team out of the playoffs right now, so.
Exactly. I mean, NFC former Super Bowl champion, and pretty much put it on the road. I'm ready to play now.
Si, you are either delusional or the most positive Washington fan I've ever come across. I can't figure out which one.
I think I'm delusional.
I am excited for it, though. I wish our team was in it. Maybe they'll get back there soon, but it's going to be a fun NFL playoff, Si. I'm looking forward to it.
Man, talk about the NCAA's being kind of parity. The NFL is parity.
Oh, it's up for grabs, yeah.
It's up for grabs. It should be fun to watch.
Si, enjoyed it, man. Have a great call on Saturday and enjoy watching it coming up Wednesday night. We enjoy our chats with you here on Pirate Radio Live, and we'll do it again next week.
Look forward to it, Clip.
Thank you, Si. Si Seymour joining us today on the Pirate Radio Live line. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll talk about what's going on tonight in college basketball. Also, Jeff Nadeau's pretty good at guessing the line for future ECU basketball games. We'll see what he has to say about Wednesday night's line for ECU and Cincinnati, as he'll guess that for us when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2022 Buick Encore GX. Save up to $1,250 off or 1.9% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey, this is John Grillo, the Bagel Man. You know I love bagels. I don't settle for frozen bagels. That's why we make our bagels right here in Greenville from scratch every day. If you're coming into Bagel Man, you'll notice that there's some renovation going on. Our menu is bigger and better than ever. Our sandwiches, heroes, subs, salads, wraps, bagel dogs, fresh baked pastries, and our new coffee bar. Soon we're going to be opening for dinner. Don't forget Bagel Man for all your catering needs on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico, a huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $7.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Quite simply, one of the best ever basketball performances at ECU. Here's who next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Chancellor Phillip Rodgers. I think what I enjoy most during the day is engaging with students. I try to get out on campus, regardless of what my schedule looks like, and be present and visible with our students each and every day. And I like to do the same with our alums and with our local community members, because I'm one person. I've got a set of eyes and ears, but I like to think about my leadership role through the lenses of the people who are a part of this community and who we're serving at ECU. And I think the best way to do that is to spend time with them.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud.
If you were at Williams Arena Minges Coliseum on January the 5th, you witnessed one of the best Pirate basketball performances ever. Sophomore guard Tristan Newton from El Paso scored 14 points in overtime to lead ECU to an 88-80 win over Tulane. To say the 6'5 product took over the game would be an understatement. He dialed in threes from all over the court. He finished drives to the rim. He made free throws and came up with big defensive plays. After the game, it was a standing O from the Pirate faithful and a lot of high fives from his teammates who were equally at awe watching his performance. After we finished our interview on the radio network, Tristan said, "I need to call my brother." Well, his brother is Jawan Newton, who plays at Evansville. He's the big brother who's awfully proud of his little brother, as we all are. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
This is Tim Doust, ECU Football Special Teams Coordinator, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Well, keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip Barat.
All right, let's get you ready for NFL playoff weekend, wild card weekend, and tonight's college hoop slate. Talk a little ECU basketball as well with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, who joins us now on the Pirate Radio Live line. Big man, how you doing today?
What's up, Clip? How are you?
Hey, doing good. Good win for you last night. I was on the other side. I went with Bama again, as I did in the SEC championship, and came back to bite me last night, but I saw you were on Georgia, and credit to Georgia that while their offense was sputtering early, and really for the first 2.5, 3 quarters, their defense kept Bama out of the end zone. And sure enough, the better team did win last night. So credit to you for that one, big man.
That was the key to the game, obviously keeping the Crimson Tide out of the end zone. You know, obviously you got a little good fortune when Jameson Williams went down. They didn't have John Mechie. You know, credit to Alabama for hanging around. But at the end of the day, the fourth quarter was elite for Georgia. Really, that pick six was awesome. You just kind of waited for something like that, and you know, it was a great job. You know, Stetson Bennett had kind of a wild game. You know, at times he looked terrible. You know, but then at the right time he figured it out. That big throw to Mitchell was incredible. What a catch! You know, Georgia deserved it. They were the best team all season, and you know, I was happy to get 2.5 on the game.
Let's stick with football, Jeff, before we get into some college basketball, as there's a nice slate of games tonight, some good games going on tonight across college hoops. But real quick, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday and finalize some of this. But you got anything going for Wild Card Weekend, Super Wild Card Weekend? 2 games Saturday, 3 Sunday, a Monday nighter. It starts Raiders Bengals on Saturday, Patriots Bills. How about anything on Saturday, Jeff?
Well, I was hoping to get the Bucks at under 7. Doesn't look like I'm going to get that. I'm probably going to be looking at some sort of play involving the Bucks and maybe the Patriots and some sort of teaser. Maybe I think if I can get the Patriots above 10, I'm going to buy in on them, and then I'll buy in on the Bucks at 2.5
under a field goal. Yeah.
But I just feel like the Eagles. I think they're just a happy to be there type of team. That's just my thought. I think when we look defensively, I think the Eagles are going to have major issues here. Look, if they don't, I'll be surprised and I'll be happy. But I just think the Bucs are on another level on the Eagles. You know, Tom Brady kind of worked them the first time they played in Philadelphia. This game's in Tampa. I think the Eagles, you know, it's nice that they got to the playoffs, but this kind of screams like 31-17 to me.
Yeah, it feels like Bucks Washington from last year's playoffs. Now, that game was played in Washington, but there were no fans. It was a weird night game, no fans. Washington hung around, but they were almost kind of the happy to be their team last year, while this is when Brady really gets rolling. Any thoughts on the Raiders Bengals? And this one has come down. Like yesterday, I was saying that I don't necessarily love Carr and the Raiders, but the Bengals being that big of favorites at home on this stage, it made me a little nervous to back the Bengals. What do you think about that matchup?
I mean, the game screams close, but I've had issues with fading the Raiders this year. It's just been not one of my favorite things. I've also had issues fading the Bengals, so it's kind of a stay away for me.
Yeah.
I actually took a shot with the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. I think they had the deepest odds on the board. I think the Bengals are an interesting team, man. I mean, defensively, they're actually better than I thought they'd be. And look, I think Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the country, or in the NFL. So I like Cincinnati, but I've had issues fading the Raiders. I'm going to kind of just stay away.
What about a line like 12.5 in a playoff game? And certainly it makes sense. The Steelers are just, man, they're a slog to watch. They just, I don't know. They win ugly. They stay in games. But can they keep up with the Chiefs? When you see a number this big in the playoffs, do you shy away from it, or would you put something on Kansas City?
I think the Steelers kind of lucked into the playoffs. Let's just be honest with ourselves. But that's not to say that matters. I mean, it's all about getting there, and once you get there, you got to do what you got to do. I don't know. I mean, I'm not real with it on laying double digits with the Chiefs. I'm not really with it on laying points with them in general. They have played a lot better, but I don't know. It's hard to envision laying this kind of number in the playoffs. Look, if I'm going to do this, I need a little different matchup. I don't trust the Chiefs as a favorite, let alone a double-digit favorite.
So you said you went a little on a future with the Bengals. You had Dallas at the beginning of the year, right?
I do. I have the Dallas Cowboys. I have the Rams.
Okay, yeah, I'm in on the Rams as well. So those are the futures you have out there right now. What do you think about the top seeds, the Packers and the Titans? I mean, is this thing wide open, or is anybody ahead of anybody right now? Are the Packers the favorite in your eyes, or is this thing wide open overall?
I think it's wide open, man. I mean, I think there are a couple teams that I don't see winning. Like, I don't see the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I don't see the Raiders winning the Super Bowl, or the Steelers. But I think outside of that, it's pretty open. It's about as open as it gets. I still think the Rams are the best overall team in the country. I keep saying country.
College football's over, Jeff.
Yeah, right. No, I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. That's my thought.
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us. Great college basketball night tonight. The Pirates will be back in action coming up Wednesday night on the road at Cincinnati. East Carolina coming off a last-second Dame time. Damian Dunn hits the three to give Temple the win on Saturday. Did you see the end of that game, Jeff? That was a good basketball game there in Philly.
Yeah, it was. I keep saying, I mean, it's going to be problematic for Aaron McKee to keep Damian Dunn around here. I mean, this guy's really good. I mean, he's young. And these schools are going to come down and try to, I think, grab him. I mean, they ended up doing it with Jaden Gardner. I think they're going to try to do it here. This kid's terrific and really kind of brings back a new element. Temple basketball's playing well right now, and they've been doing it without some depth and some big pieces in Ty Strickland, Jake Forrester.
And without McKee himself, Jeff, the last two games.
Yeah, exactly. Went down to UCF and beat them. Hung around against Houston and beat ECU. Now you got a winnable game tomorrow night against Tulsa, and then next week I'm probably going to be down there for Wichita State. So yeah, looking forward to it. They're playing good basketball right now, the Owls.
Jeff, you've been killing the projected lines for ECU basketball. You were all over it in the Temple game. Do you got one for me for Wednesday night against Cincinnati? Bearcats, kind of a funny team. They got waxed at home by Tulane, and then last midweek they blow out SMU. What do you think the line will look like for Cincinnati at home against ECU on Wednesday night?
Yeah, I'd probably say Cincy 9, 8 maybe, 8.5, something like that.
All right.
ECU is going to be in these spots where they're going to be a dog in these games, and they're going to be close to double-digit dogs. But, Cincinnati is a totally different team than we know them from years past. I mean, under John Brennan, they just weren't very good. Wes Miller brings them kind of a different element, but I'm not going to be betting a lot against ECU. I'll be honest. I think they've been a lot better than I thought they'd be. This is not a real good Cincinnati offense. This game is probably a low-scoring game. I would lean under, maybe like 68-62 or something.
Best game on the docket tonight, Jeff, I guess would be Auburn, Alabama. You've also got some national powers at home playing ranked teams. Baylor is at home against Texas Tech, Kansas against Iowa State. Before we get into the weeds, I know you'll like some Tarleton State-like games, which you had last week. Nice winner there, by the way. Do you like any of these headline games for tonight, these SEC Big 12 matchups?
Yeah, so last night, right when the line came out, I played Alabama money line -120. They're now a 3-point favorite. This is just one of those spots, man. I mean, why is Alabama a 3-point favorite in this game? Auburn can't lose. They've been rolling. They've been one of the best teams in the country, according to everybody. Just kind of doesn't make a lot of sense here. I also think Florida State's a pretty good spot tonight against Miami.
I just noticed that line. Miami 5-0 in the ACC, and they're 6.5-point dogs on the road in Tallahassee.
Right. For Miami, it's all about zoning them. If you zone them, I think they get crushed tonight. It wouldn't surprise me if Florida State went by 20. This just doesn't make any sense. I think Florida State cruises here. One of those crooked efforts, like 89-64 or something. I think Miami really struggles from three tonight, and I think gets blown out, run out of the building.
All right, Alabama, Florida State at home tonight. Jeff, what else are you looking at for this Tuesday night in hoops?
Yeah, I didn't think the card was real good, to be honest.
Okay.
Kind of like Bonnie's tonight. Aren't you a Bonnie fan?
Yeah, I jumped on them as my random team last year. It was a hell of a ride. They got LaSalle coming up tonight on the road.
Yeah, I haven't played since December 17th. They lost to Virginia Tech 86-49.
Yeah, watch that one here during a live show, and that did not go well for the Bonnies.
Yeah, so you had that to stew about. Now you come back and you get lowly LaSalle up in North Philadelphia. Listen, it's not ideal laying 9.5 on the road with a team off of a 25-day pause, but I mean LaSalle is dreadful. I mean, I think Bonnie's if they're not ready to go tonight, I don't know what to say. Like if they struggle in this game and win 77-74, I think they have some issues. This is a great spot against a bad team that you should be able to take care of in your first league game here. This is the game where you have to come out and kind of set a tone.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, as we wrap it up here, as we sit here right now in college basketball or in conference play, starting to separate some real teams for some pretenders that had a good non-conference. Who are the teams that you've really enjoyed backing so far this 2021-22 season? Who do you find yourself going back to?
Yeah, you mentioned Charlton State. I've been on them a couple times. Hofstra, betting on their overs has been fun. I had an over on Sunday with them, and against Monmouth with them, and against Arkansas with them. They're just a fun over team. 4-guard lineup, play fast, don't really play much defense. I'll tell you another one right now, Lipscomb. I mean, their overs right now are, I think, things you got to look towards. They don't play any defense, and they just got their best player back in Sajula. St. Thomas, a new team out of Minnesota, their overs have been real fun. But yeah, I've just been finding, the teams, and kind of these spots where it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, like an Alabama or a Memphis against Alabama or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to win on the road in college hoops club.
Study the lines, or you could just listen to the BMOC, the Big Man on Campus. Give him a follow at Jeff Nadu on Twitter, patreon.com/BMOC if you want to see what he's got going on. And also the Sit Down podcast. You can download that if you're into the history of the mob and mafia. Jeff, anything else you got going on these days?
No, I got a big show tomorrow on the sit down. John Gotti Jr., the son of John Gotti. We'll talk about him and his kind of embarrassing reign as boss after his father went away. But yes, basketball and the mob stuff, that's all I'm doing right now, Clip, and I'm enjoying doing it. Thank you for having me, as always.
We'll talk to you Thursday, Jeff. Thank you.
Thanks, Clip.
Jeff Nadu, Big Man on Campus, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. When we return, we'll talk to a former Pirate for the first time in a long time, Vintavious Cooper, former ECU running back. 2 seasons here at East Carolina, 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons, and we'll talk about his playing days, what he's up to today, relive some great memories with Vintavious Cooper when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on HoistTheColors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it New York style. So you can fold it or not. I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York style pizza from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, the new Papa John's New York style pizza is a MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This year, US Cellular is making a big deal out of the holidays. You can choose any phone from any brand free. That's right, any phone you see in our store is free. And get unlimited data for our best price of the season. Just $30 a month per line with 4 lines. Feel the locally grown joy from US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Limited time offer. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Now that life is returning to normal, we have found a lot of good things that came from the pandemic. One of them is not having to go to the wireless store anymore. The Cellular Warehouse team has been in the business of delivering phones to your home and office for 20 years. People found out about our free delivery service and love the ease of getting a new phone, tablet, or hotspot. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 so you can start experiencing the joy of never going to a wireless store again. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Get the best of the best for less at Bostic Sugg Furniture. The best name brand furniture at savings up to 15% off store-wide, plus 12 months special financing. Save on the best looks for your home. Save up to 70% off clearance items or get 72 months special financing. Get your best night's sleep on a comfortable new mattress with 72 months special financing. It's better than the rest. It's the best of the best, and it's going on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and made-from-scratch pastas. Check out the 16-ounce cowboy steak and our seafood delight pasta. The Rick House is open for lunch daily from 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Take a break from your workday with lunch at the Rick House. Join us for our legendary brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fossil from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube and search for Pirate Radio TV and subscribe today. You can watch Pirate Radio Live, of course, Monday through Friday from 3 until 6. And, of course, the Bud Light pregame tailgate in the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. Just go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and click on that subscribe button. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
All right, we had some fun Bud Light pregame tailgate and U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in shows back in 2012, 2013, when Vintavious Cooper was running the football for the Pirates. 2 short years, but a lot of big numbers for Coop, and we have not talked to him in a while. It's great to have him back here on Pirate Radio, joining us on the Pirate Radio Live line today. Vintavious Cooper. Vintavious, man, been a while since we've chatted. Good to get you back on here, Pirate Radio. How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. It's always good to hear familiar voices and actually be, back into the mix with people from Greenville. I don't really talk to many people from up that way anymore. It's a little bad because of the like that. I hate it. I miss everything about school, and I miss everybody that I met, and the amazing relationships that I built there. So I hate that I haven't been back and been able to talk to as many people as I really should. But it's definitely good to hear your voice, though, brother. How you?
I'm good, man. It's great to hear that laid-back voice of Vintavious Cooper. And yeah, man, we grow up, we get old. It's hard to believe that it's been 8, 9, 10 years since you were here at East Carolina. And Coop, it went by so fast. You came in here as a transfer, so you only had 2 years of eligibility, and you made the most of them. Though your name, we talk about you a lot, Vintavious, because up until this past season, you were the last running back to have a 1,000-yard season at East Carolina. You had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in 2012, 2013, and Keaton Mitchell, finally the guy to hit 1,000 again. He had 1,000 plus this year for the Pirates, so you had that record for a long time. Were you even aware of that, Vintavious?
Yeah, I was, man. I'm a little hurt, that when I heard that it happened. It was kind of one of those things that I'm kind of like Eric Dickinson when it comes to my competitors. Let me be. It lets me be a little happy for the guy. I can't be mad because he's an amazing athlete, and it had to have happened. And who better than to have it happen, by somebody like Keaton Mitchell? But I was like, dang. At least have to hold on for a little while longer.
Man, we were due for a 1,000-yard rusher, but Pirates finally another winning season here. And Coop, we talk about you too because you were on the last team to win a bowl game at East Carolina. We thought that might change this year, but Boston College had to opt out of the Military Bowl due to COVID, due to guys not being available to play. So we're still waiting to win that first bowl game, and I'm sure you remember that one, Vintavious. You went for a big one that day, 198 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns in the win over Ohio. That's the last time East Carolina won a bowl game.
Right, man. That's crazy to think about, man. That was a fun day, though. That was a pretty fun day.
We had Shane Carden catching touchdowns in that game, Vintavious.
Probably the best catch that I've seen for a quarterback. Honestly, he went up over like one guy or something like that. Dang, that's our quarterback. Is that really?
And that had to be a fun offense to play in, Coop. You also, looking at your numbers, 44 catches your last year, 26 in 2012. They utilized you well, and the guy spearheading that was Lincoln Riley. And talk about how things change. He's a young guy then calling plays, and now he's the talk of college football going to USC. I mean, you probably knew you were playing for a pretty good coach, but did you think he'd go on the rise he went on to?
Honestly, man, yeah. It's a weird thing that you can see it because look what he did with me. I was a quarterback. I've been playing quarterback my entire career. In high school and in little leagues, and I went to Southwest Community College to play quarterback there for 2 years, and he decided that. Yeah, we need to put you at running back, man. We need to let you have the ball in your hands. Not as much as you did when you were playing quarterback, but just a little bit. The talent of him being able to see that, I'm able to make the adjustment and, to find ways to incorporate me in an offense like he had at the time. That just it really says a lot about the type of coach that he is and, the ideas that he really brings to the table. So it was never a doubt out of my mind, honestly, that, if he ever got the opportunity to lead his own team, to really branch out, to be put in any situation, he was going to thrive, man. He was going to thrive. He's a different kind of coach, man. I appreciate the opportunity for him, and I think about it all the time. It's so surreal,
And Coop, I wanted to ask you about that. So you were a QB coming in here. Were you? Did you know you were going to be moved to running back when you came to East Carolina? Were you being recruited by other schools as a running back, or did you have a opportunity to play quarterback in D1 or FCS or something like that?
Yeah, I had a chance to play in the FCS. Murray State actually, they offered me a full scholarship to play quarterback at Murray. And he told me that I would be able to come in and start right away and whatnot. Me, having my eyes set on possibly playing after college and whatnot. I just, I felt that it was better suit for me to be, playing at a position that, NFL students would want to see me at. And me playing quarterback at 5'8" and 3'4", a little, it took to come to that decision, having played my entire life. But yeah, it was just, I felt like it was a good business decision for me to make for myself. But yeah, I had a couple offers here and there to play quarterback, and he gave me the call and told me that he wanted me to play running back. And for the entire season, for the entire summer, he was just like, "Hey, I want you to run. I want you to catch a bunch of balls. I want you to run. I want you to catch a bunch of passes. Please catch as many passes as you can. Do all of the sequence drills and stuff like that, and catch a bunch of passes." So yeah, when I got to school, I was pretty ready. He got me ready in the mindset of being a running back and how I would have to be a running back at the air raid and that type of thing. So yeah, I was definitely ready for it.
Vintavious Cooper, Coop, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. And Coop, once again, thinking back to those days, you had some big games. I want to say the game in North Carolina especially, but maybe it was NC State too. That 2013 year, the team's able to go on the road and beat both of those teams. And, yeah, you guys want to win your conference games and all that. The fans love those games against NC State and North Carolina. So how quickly, when you came in, did you recognize those rivalries? And how about your performances in those games on the road that year?
I didn't realize how big it was when I was in high school. I didn't understand how big it was while I was in JUCO. But when I think the first year we went, and I was starting to hear, just the trash talk, and I mean, just by our teammates, I hadn't even been to North Carolina at the time, before I had actually came on my visit and things like that. I never visited the state before, so actually being around the culture of the rivalry of the Tar Heels and the Pirates and the Wolfpack and the Dudes and everybody else, and I'm like, you know what? This is pretty big. And I didn't realize, that it was so much into it as it was. Like, I didn't know the players, and I didn't know anything. And just to really start getting the history behind it and actually finding out that, I didn't know that Julius Peppers played at North Carolina. It's a whole bunch of things that I was confused about. And to figure out, I'm coming over here to jump into some a historic rivalry within college football and within North Carolina. It was something that was becoming just as big in my heart, that it was for all of the fans also. So, by the next year, I don't want to feel that same pain that we felt that the first year when we played in Temple Hill. That wasn't a good feeling. We left a bad taste in our mouths, and we had to redeem ourselves. So, yeah, I don't know. I think about that game. I talked to Bill on that one a lot, and Ben probably talked about that game and the game the year after so much, just because of the way that we were able to dominate. I was able to give Eric Ebron a little bit of a mouthful when I got to Detroit to do summer minicamp.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you remember what happened, right? You handled it. You remember that, right? You know what number I was? He didn't even know who I was. But he was like, yeah, man, what are you playing? I said at East Carolina. I remember. He was like, yeah, we did though.
Coop had 270 total yards, if my math is right. 186 rushing yards, 70 receiving yards in that game. So we'll put you at 256 total yards in that game where you guys rolled up 55 on the Tar Heels. And I was going to ask you, Coop, and you said it there, you were with you went in for Detroit for some mini camps. Did you play any professional football after you left East Carolina on any level?
No, sir. It was business decision. It was some things that were starting to happen around me that I wasn't necessarily prepared for. And then a lot of areas, you know, I needed to be better at, you know, making those business decisions and having the right people surrounding me.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it didn't turn out exactly the way that I would have liked, but you know, it's my.
Well, Coop, we got to get you back here to Greenville for a game, man, and so you can see these Pirates because they're running the ball. They're starting to play like you guys played. We had a long drought, as you know, if you kept up with East Carolina, but it feels like things are back on the right track around here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been waiting, man. We've been waiting. That's all I talked to a lot of my brothers that I still, you know, from school, Zeke business.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I hate it looking like it's looking right now, man. I hate it looking like that because my first year that we had a winning record, the next year we went to the bowl. We won the bowl.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the tradition that should be Pirate football, man. That's what everybody really should know us for. You know, winning games. That's the team that's competitive because we're not. I didn't feel that we were like other schools. You know, I knew that our offense was different. I knew that our defense was different. I knew that our coaching staff was different. But that was what we were, and I felt like it was hard for us to really to be beat or really be to find a real decision game about what we were capable of doing. So I just, you know, I can't even put in words how it feels to not see them win so many games right now because that's just what I was feeling like was supposed to be happening. That's what I ever thought about happening at Easter. Yeah, man.
Coop, one more for you. Bryce Williams, former tight end, your teammate, joins us here on the show on Wednesdays. He's just a regular old dude, and just happened to be big and pretty talented and a good football player. What do you remember, if anything, about Bryce being that lanky tight end for the Pirates? You remember anything? Got any good stories about Bryce?
I think the best story, or the best memory that I can say that I have about Bryce. Well, just to start off, while I was at school, Justin Jones was the tight end.
Yeah.
You know, and you know to come in to start my career, and then me noticing Justin and his size and what he was able to do, and you know hearing about the Hail Mary and things like that, and I got to see Bryce play, and I'm like, dang, what is he doing? Is he gonna play this year or what? And like, 'cause he is nice, bro. Like, this man can catch anything, and he's fast. He's faster than almost, you know, like 20% of our receivers. I was just confused. But Bryce was an amazing talent, man, and I'm talking about super fast for a guy's size. And we call him Slim 80, you know what I'm saying? It's like he a big slim dude, and he moves like every other wide receiver out there. But my best memory that I have with Bryce was actually when we were in North Carolina State, and I think we had just scored a touchdown. And I'm not sure who scored. We had a lot of tugs that day. You know, I ain't gonna lie.
Yep, a lot of them.
I'm not sure who scored at the time. Bryce came over to me. I think Bryce may have scored, honestly. I think it was his touchdown. But I was so amped up for that. We had a picture taken that was just him and I standing, like, and you can see the fans behind us, and you can see, you know, everybody was happening. But the focus is just me and Bryce. And Bryce is just yelling. Like, we just holler. We got a moment where we, like, helmet to helmet, and we just screaming in each other's face, like, yeah, let's go. And yeah, so that's probably the best memory that I got of Bryce, and I still keep that picture to this day.
That's cool.
When his birthday comes up and things of that nature, I send it to him and tell him happy birthday. But yeah.
That's pretty cool, Coop. We'll do this again, man. Go over some more memories. It was great to catch up with you, and we hope you're doing well these days. And got to get you back to Greenville to check out a game sometime. But thanks for reliving some of those memories with us, man. We still talk about you in that era of Pirate football, and we appreciate your time today, Coop.
Yes, sir, man. Anytime, man. Give me a call. I'm coming to Greenville pretty soon. I got to catch you guys. I got to see what the Pirates are up to. I miss everybody down there. As much love and as much respect. As always, purple and gold to the day I die, man.
Yes, sir. That's awesome, Coop. Thank you, Vintavious. We'll talk to you again soon, man.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Thank you. There's Vintavious Cooper joining us, and man, those were some fun times here in Greenville, and just 2 short years with Vintavious Cooper. 2012, 2013, made the most of those years. Had 1,049 yards rushing in 12, followed that up with just under 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns in his 2013 season. Also added 44 catches, 412 yards, a touchdown, and a bowl victory, and a big bowl game in that game against Ohio. And, man, fun to relive those days and talk to Vintavious Cooper today on Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a timeout, come back. Stephen Igoe joins us inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll talk about today's Pirates, maybe look back on some good days as well, and more. When we return, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live will also make you a winner. Open up the booty bag coming up in our third hour as well. It's on the way. We're back with you after this.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fossil from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,000 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org, or go directly to our job postings at bit.ly/PCS employment. That's bit.ly/PCS employment. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student and every staff member every single day.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Fruitopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Hey dads, it's back. Plan to join us for our 6th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs. This event will be a fun night of games, music, photo keepsakes, raffle tickets, and of course, dancing. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds will go to Daughters for Dads, which supports local families affected by cancer. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Purchase your tickets today by going to eventbrite.com and search for Daughters for Dads. We will see you Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a number one priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you here on Pirate Radio Live. We've talked to two former Pirates today. One, the wound is still fresh with Tyler Snead, but great to catch up there with Vintavious Cooper. And we talked about his exploits quite a bit, especially since we didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher for so many seasons. But he had some super productive years and said there that he's not shocked that Lincoln Riley has made the rise to fame and the rise in the coaching world that he's made due to how he used him, a quarterback who came in and played running back and played so well. And great to catch up with Coop, Igoe. I don't know, is he underappreciated almost?
I think so. I think Cooper and Lance Lewis fall into that category, probably because they're two JUCO guys that only played 2 years. But yeah. I feel like Vintavious Cooper, Andre Allison, probably another one in that realm. But, man, he was fun to watch. I still remember when he signed, covering recruiting at the time. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? And like, why is ECU signing this quarterback from
a 5'8" quarterback?
Yeah,
as he just put it,
from some Mississippi JUCO. But like he said, Lincoln Riley clearly had an eye for talent, and they always say, oftentimes, usually it's the high school quarterbacks that make the best receivers and running backs. But in this case, I guess a JUCO quarterback makes the best running back.
I'm looking, let's see who else, because he came in, had a 1,000-yard season his first year.
Out of nowhere, really.
Reggie Bullock had 387 yards. Michael Dobson, 190. Hunter Furr,
there was so much hype around him. He was the cool transfer before the transfer portal.
43 yards for Hunter Furr. Jabril Solomon
was the absolute
wide receiver.
Dude, if he could have kept his grades in order.
2 carries to 29 yards. Torrance Hunt, was he the one that went from DB
to running back?
Zico Pursuit, -1 yard. He did his running the previous year, right?
It was 2012, where it was Torrance Hunt, converted corner, and Zico Pursuit, converted tight end. I mean, they legitimately ran out of running backs, which is why they probably had so many running backs on that list right there.
Yeah, and Coop had 200 carries that year. My guy Brad Warnick, 1 carry, 4 yards. Best backup quarterback in ECU history.
UAB game when he came in for like one drive and
could have been
helped move the chains.
He is. He could play in the NFL today with all these crappy quarterbacks.
I mean, he could. I mean, he's probably got the guard.
He could play for the Broncos or Washington this week if they had a game, but they don't
do just as well as their quarterbacks.
Yeah. So fun to look back at some of those numbers, Igoe. And now we don't have to do that as much because we have good football to talk about here at East Carolina. You just mentioned as you came in some Bama guys in the transfer portal. So now it's time to see what teams can pick up some scraps from Alabama and Georgia after last night's championship game. But how many Bama guys are in there? You said
quite a few. I saw a handful just scrolling Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter a ton today, but I saw their stud tight end, their backup quarterback, like just some of their better players that probably before this era would have waited for their time to play are entering the portal. It's just so easy now.
Well, they made a big deal about their running back, Robinson. I didn't realize he had been around so long. He's had, in his tenure at Alabama as running back, like 7 NFL running backs in the same room with him during his career there? That's insane.
It's just, and he's gonna get drafted. I mean, he's gonna reap the benefits of waiting.
It looks like not when he plays Georgia.
Right.
When he was playing Cincinnati, it looked like in high school where you have your biggest kid at running, almost middle school.
Right.
You put your biggest kid at running back and he just runs over guys. That's what it looks like when he's running the football.
I mean, there's just so much talent at Alabama. It's just unfair. I mean, it's hard to envision having to wait that long behind that many NFL guys, but I guess it paid off because usually I bet there's a ton of other guys who were in that room that either left or ended up trying to do something else at another school.
And at certain schools, your guys are transferring because, well, I didn't play this year and might not get an opportunity. At Alabama, it's probably like I didn't play this year and somebody just notified me that they've got 5 stars coming in at my position, and I really don't have a shot.
I mean, they sign at least 1 4-star running back every year, if not a 5-star. I mean, it's just a different level.
It is. It's almost a different sport, and they are the favorite to win next year. We're talking about a team that didn't win last night, by the way. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was good to see somebody else win, and it's still the SEC, but at least it was somebody new. I mean, Georgia hasn't won in a long time, and Kirby Smart's done a heck of a job there. So, but they're going to be really good too for a while. I mean, they got a ton of youth and impactful youth, and that's the thing about Alabama, though. Even with all those injuries they kept having, they still had other guys step up with talent, and they're just going to be good until Nick Saban finally stops coaching, which is not going to be now since they lost.
It's going to happen, folks. It's bound to happen. I've been around a while now, and I remember days when Alabama was not good at football. It's happened in my lifetime, and it's going to happen again. When Nick Saban steps down, they'll bring in the next guy, and they'll fall off.
I mean, at that point, it's going to be impossible shoes to fill. Like, I know that in theory it'd be great to be the Alabama coach and have all those resources and that history, but that's going to be the hardest job to replace Nick Saban because the expectations are going to just be so high that no matter what you do, you're probably going to fail.
And I wonder if, like Bobby Bowden was and Joe Paterno were there so long that they had long past their glory days.
Right.
Like, is Bama's glory days ever going to end?
I don't think so.
While Saban's there?
I think Saban's just a different breed. I think he's just going to. I think the moment they start slipping, he will step down if they ever do.
And I make fun of like Bill O'Brien, offensive coordinator. Anybody could do that job, but he does consistently bring in coaches that were fired or something happened that are good, that are probably really good coaches.
I mean, Bill O'Brien's a legit offensive mind. If he's not a good head coach. I mean, the Texans were pretty good under him.
He was with Brady and the Patriots.
He had Steve Sarkisian before that. He was a good coach.
Lane was there.
Lane Kiffin. So, I mean, yeah, you can question.
He's going to keep bringing in guys like that.
He's going to bring in whatever guy replaces or whatever guy's fired from the NFL. Or,
I mean, you can probably bring in Brian Flores next year.
And that would be hilarious.
That's the best defense ever. So I don't know. Igoe, your coach didn't make it through the.
I have a coach.
Well, not anymore. Vic Fangio, who is still looked at as one of the best defensive minds
tremendous
ever.
Defensive mind,
but just not a head coach.
It's just
especially in 2022, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of old school.
Denver had nothing to play for, and they kicked a field goal on 4th and 9 from the 8-yard line.
Meanwhile, Brandon Staley is 17 years old going for it at his own 18.
Yeah.
You couldn't have two more different coaches in the same division.
And that's the thing about the Chargers is every year, man, watch out for the Chargers. This is their year. They got a good quarterback. They got all this young talent, and they find a way to falter every year. I mean, they've had some great quarterbacks: Fouts, Breeze, Rivers, Herbert, and have never won a Super Bowl.
I had this conversation off the air with Chandler. I want to, because I heard a discussion going on, and we can do it real quick, but it was the most disappointing team this year.
Definitely.
And the Chargers were up there. And then I said, because you think about the transition from Favre to Rodgers and what the Packers have had. They won one. The transition in coaching with the Steelers from Chuck Noll to Bill Cowher to Tomlin, and they've won a couple, and they've had Roethlisberger for forever now. But the Chargers have had Hall of Fame quarterback, a potential like Rivers is right on the doorstep. Yeah, he'll probably get in.
I think he'll get in.
And then a guy on pace
to be
after 2 years to be a Hall of Fame quarterback and have zero to show for it. How many championship games have they been to? I'll look it up real quick.
I know they've been to one.
Maybe one or two.
They went to one with Rivers, right? Against the Patriots or Colts. I can't remember who they played, but I remember them making it to one.
So they've had 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. We'll say. I mean, Herbert, again, he's on pace. I'm not going to go crazy, but so championship, they were in the championship in 2007, and that is it. Out of that run on QBs that they've had. They've also had LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the greatest players of all time. Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates was just an absolute terror for me, along with LT. Like when they had Rivers, LT, and Gates, for them not to make a Super Bowl, that's got to be one of the more disappointing things in franchise history. Part of the problem, I feel like, I don't know if it's a ownership deal, but even now, like they're in LA. When Denver played in LA, like it was half Denver fans. I mean,
how was it like that in San Diego too?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't as bad, but it was bad. I mean, they just don't have they don't have a great culture, and I don't know if it's because they're in California where it's hard to kind of establish that consistently. But it's just, I don't know. It's just like there's not I feel like Denver, even though they're bad, like it's just more of a tradition, and kind of the players and the franchise rally around that. Whereas, like when you're a bad franchise, in terms of ultimate success, which is winning the Super Bowl like the Chargers, it just kind of resonates within, and it's hard to get over that hump. I don't know if I'm speaking too much into it or looking too much into it, but I don't know. It just feels like there's something that's not,
and it's easy.
There.
It's so easy for us and to not even look at the personnel, the coaches, anything. All we do, we see the scores every week and say, the Chargers are the same team. They have always been.
Yeah. I mean,
every single year, every single week, every single fourth quarter, they're in the game and they're going to lose it. And it took them to overtime to do it the other night to get to the playoffs. They couldn't do it.
Well, I know, and a lot of Broncos' problems are that they don't have a quarterback. But I know that ever since the previous owner, Pat Bowlen, has passed away, and they've had this like lull and trying to figure out who their next owner is. Like the organization is just kind of falling apart, and I think it's systemic in a way. And I feel like the bad franchises in the NFL are kind of stuck in that way too, where it's really from the top down. You know, your team, very familiar with that.
Chandler's hoping the Panthers.
The Panthers might be.
They're like they're on that road.
Yeah, I mean it's very tough to break that rut, which is why I feel like if Denver, they got to hit this offseason. They're going for a new owner, new coach, new quarterback, and if they miss on 2 of those 3 or all 3, then they're going to be set back another 5-10 years at least.
Who are the names I go with the Broncos right now?
I mean, they've reached out to every possible coach just about. I'm hoping for an offensive coach. Their last 2, Vance Joseph and Vic Fangio, total bust as defensive guys. But
yeah, and I saw the name Flores, which is like, I like Brian Flores. He seems like a bad dude and all that, but would you want another defensive guy? I could see that turning Broncos fans off.
Yeah, he would have to, like, I'd be fine with Flores or Dan Quinn
Dan Quinn.
If they had a plan for OC. Like Dan Quinn had the vision to hire Kyle Shanahan as his OC. True. So like to me, he's got to have a plan for OC because Denver has had such bad offense. They've had good defense for 5 years now, and it hasn't made a difference. But, at the end of the day, they just got to figure out a quarterback, too. I mean, it doesn't matter who your coach is to an extent if you don't have a decent quarterback.
And you want backwards hat Dan Quinn, not forwards hat.
Correct.
That's two totally different personalities.
Backwards hat Dan Quinn with an OC.
He's the guy that's getting it done with the Cowboys right now. Real quick, Steven, and we'll get to ECU in a moment, but wild card weekend, so you're not pulling for the Raiders. You're not pulling for the Chiefs. Do you have a rooting interest in the playoffs this year? Are you going to pick a team and go with it?
I don't really have a rooting interest. I think the Bengals
are fun.
Bengals or Bills will be, you just like to see different teams. Definitely pulling for the Steelers to beat the Chiefs because I can't stand Mahomes. I like Mahomes as a person, but he's just, gosh, they're so good and so annoying to play against.
What is he against Denver now?
Undefeated, whatever. I mean, KC has won 13 in a row in the series.
8-0, 10-0, whatever it is.
Melvin Gordon, by the way, with another disastrous fumble. Anyways, my dad's a Rams fan. He grew up an LA Rams fan, and then when they moved to St. Louis, he was turned off. But now that they're back in LA, he's back.
So he only likes crappy Rams teams?
Correct. Yep, he likes the bad Rams teams. He wasn't a fan of the show on turf.
Wow.
But he's kind of all in with Cooper Kupp, man. He loves Cooper Kupp. He texts me every Sunday. He just texts me Kupp in all capital letters, misspelled usually. But
true message boarder.
Yeah. So I guess the Rams, if I had to pick one. But I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers win another one. And I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan for his personality. He can kind of be a jerk at times, but it just feels like he's due for another one.
Definitely. Cooper Kupp had 37 more catches than the next guy.
I mean, those numbers are just unreal, man.
Over 300 more yards than Justin Jefferson, who finished second in yards. I should say he had 22 more catches than Devontae Adams. Had 16 catches. That's 3 more than Jamar Chase. How about the ball Chase is playing late in the year? But he pretty much lapped every other receiver this year. And I like the Rams going into the year. I'm pulling for Stafford, and so I'm pulling for them to make a run here.
Stafford's never won a playoff game, though, right?
That is true. Yeah, he's barely played in any.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
And he's going to blow it. You don't want Stafford against Rodgers or Brady.
Well, that's the thing.
Or even Dak at this point, I would say.
You don't want... I think LA's got to find a way to avoid Green Bay. I could see them going to Tampa and winning. I can't see them going to Lambeau and winning.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what's going on right now in ECU athletics. We'll talk Pirate football, basketball, baseball with Igoe when we return. Also, make you a winner. We're back with more after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 and save up to $2,000 off. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers through the year of COVID. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
It's a new year and we have some exciting news at Angel Oak Home Loans. This is Talbot Green and I would like to introduce you to the newest member of our team, Braxton Green. I've known Braxton his entire life because he's my nephew. He is also a recent ECU graduate and has lived in Eastern North Carolina his entire life.
This is Braxton Green and I'm looking forward to working with you with your next home loan or refinance. Give us a call at Angel Oak Home Loans today at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
At Union Bank, we understand you live life on the go. That's why our banking options are designed to serve you, wherever you are. If you want to meet us in person at one of our local branches, complete banking tasks on the go from the mobile app, or bank from your office with convenient remote deposit and cash management services, we're everywhere you need us to be. Whether you're simply managing a busy schedule or an entire business, we're right there with you with personalized service and helpful tools. Call or visit us online at unionbanknc.com. Union Bank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com, or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you with some breaking news. I don't even know if the breaking news boys have this one yet.
Uh-oh.
Remember all those free agents to be that were calling Joe Judge wanting to play for the Giants? Well, they're not going to have any players now because Joe Judge has been fired, according to Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and everybody associated with covering the NFL. So Joe Judge, he's probably disappointed because he was not a part of a clown organization and was beaten by a clown organization in Washington, Week 18.
So yesterday I gave a stat saying that the 6 coaches that have been fired since Sunday, Matt Rule is 0-6 against those coaches. Well, I was wrong. It was actually 5 coaches. Now it's 6. So it is now right.
Is that record still right, too?
It's 0-6.
Okay, because the Giants did beat the Panthers.
Like a dog.
In New York. Yeah, I do remember that now. So Joe Judge gets the axe. Why? I don't understand why. All those players wanted to play in New York.
And they're coming begging me. They're begging to come back.
What an idiot!
You know who needs to get fired from the Giants? Dave Gettleman.
Well, he retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before he could get fired.
Can't get fired.
Smart
if you
move.
retire.
Smart move. When did he retire?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all
Igoe's been in his bubble.
All this talk about, there was a report Joe Judge was coming back. Maybe this means the report about Matt Rule coming back is. You never
People can still get fired after Black Monday. Chandler.
People are going in there saying, "Hey, Scott Fitterer, Dave Tepper, we're begging to come back and play for Matt Rule. We're begging."
Here's a good question I asked myself. Like, where does my team sit on the coaching vacancy?
Oh, yeah. That's
Like,
a good
you know,
question.
Like hot spot?
Yeah, if
We can
Doug
look
Peterson's
around.
like the number one candidate, like a lot of people are speculating, like, where would he want to go most? And to me, it all comes down to quarterback. Like, who has a quarterback?
So we got, let's do it real quick. Dolphins, Jaguars. Is David Culley safe, right? Our guy, David Culley.
For now,
I thought he was getting fired.
I
For
was
them to go
listening
4-13, I think he overachieved.
Yeah.
I was listening to the CBS Sports Radio today and this morning, and they were saying that David Culley said, hey, right now I am the head coach. The same old, same old. Like, I'm the head coach for the Texans. That's what I plan on doing, and I'm moving
I feel
forward.
bad for him. They set him up to fail, and they're going to fire him and bring in a
also,
quarterback.
he's been in the NFL as a coach for years.
Honestly,
and he
I
finally
would rather
gets his
have
shot.
David Culley after what he did this year than any of the coaches that are being thrown around.
They were busting their ass,
Yeah.
kind of like Campbell for the Lions.
Yeah.
Like, they were playing hard for him. All right, let's see. I got Giants. Who we got in the North? The Bears. Vikings. Mike Zimmer out.
And their GM.
Mike Zimmer tried to get fired. He's just like, he hates life. He hates everybody.
Well, he's a defensive coach, and they ranked like 31st in defense the last few years.
He deserved it. Let's see. Falcons,
deserve to be
Panthers.
fired.
Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals, Rams. So I got Dolphins, Jags, Broncos, Giants, Bears, Vikings. Is that right? Let's look at QBs real quick. Tua, Trevor. I go. Not good news. Not sure there.
Lock's the only one under contract.
Daniel Jones, I guess. They're probably ready to move on from him. Justin Fields and Kirk Cousins. Honestly, I go, the Broncos are last
in terms
if you go by
QB,
quarterbacks. Now, what about...
If you count roster overall and cap space, Denver's near the top.
Okay.
But they have no QB. They do have the number 9 overall pick.
And coaches like to come in and get their own QB, GM. So, They have the what pick?
Number 9.
Oh, they're going to sneak Matt Corral right from us.
I would love Matt Corral.
I want Matt Corral.
Y'all had 9 last year, didn't
They
you?
had number 9. They got Patrick Surtain, who had a great year.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
say,
he did?
it turned out pretty good.
Thought he got hurt.
He did get hurt towards the end. But
I just assume every good Broncos player gets hurt.
That's what's happened the past 2 years. So, but they have a first-round pick, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. So they have capital to move up and maybe get somebody if they really like it.
That is a good question, though. I go, what if you were the hot candidate? What job would you take?
All of them have warts. I mean, the Jaguars have the quarterback, but they're the Jaguars.
I know. I don't think I want to go there. The Dolphins have the Dolphins and now I'm worried if I'm the next coach.
Yeah, they just fired Brian Flores
because I was going to say they've had 2 back-to-back winning seasons. That would be great to go into, but then you're working with an owner who won't take Jim Harbaugh away from Michigan because he loves Michigan more than the team he owns, and he just fired a good coach. So I don't think I want to go there. Bears, Vikings. The Vikings are the NFC Chargers.
Yes. They got pretty good roster, although it is starting to age a little bit. They do have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins. What do you
I think I might go to the Bears because they hate Nagy and all their previous coaches so much. If you can win 9 or 10 games, you'll be a hero.
I feel like there's some job security there. You
go
get
with Justin
a couple
Fields.
years,
Yeah.
get a young quarterback. Pretty proud franchise. The Vikings are a weird one because, what do you do with Kirk Cousins? Do you blow it up or do you keep Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, you just keep paying him.
I feel like it's time for Kirk Cousins to go somewhere.
It's just like how it ended in Washington. It's like, should we? He's like right there on the fence. You don't know what to do with him.
He's the same player somehow, 5 years later?
But it's because he puts up great numbers, but they don't win games. 8-9. I wonder what his overall record is. It's got to be right at 500.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He'll have some elite games, and then he just, I don't know what happens.
All right, I enjoy talking NFL, getting away. I'm sure Igoe does too.
Yeah,
because you're so inundated with
all
the
we
ECU
do is talk
stuff.
ECU. So I enjoy coming up here BSing and talking, especially now that Denver fired his coach. There's some you get reinvigorated when there's a big change. When it's the same thing and your team keeps losing. I had my hopes up for 3 big games this year, and they flopped in all 3. So I was ready to move on.
I know. Every time I'd text you. All right, Igoe, big one here today. Collapse.
Yep.
Nothing. All right, what's going on in Pirate Land, Igoe? What are you covering right now? Hoops is in season, obviously. We're getting closer to baseball. You're following the portal with football, I guess?
Yeah, following the portal never stops. Recruiting never stops. It never stopped before the portal, and now with the portal, it's almost like there's a high school recruiting season and there's a portal recruiting season. Feels like right now it's kind of that portal recruiting season. Guys are still entering. Guys are still exiting. The start of semester was Monday. I still think they might try and sneak in another guy or two for this semester. I'm not sure what the deadline is, but I've talked to a few offensive linemen who are looking at visiting later this month from the FCS ranks who are transferring up, and then been in contact with a couple other guys ECU's talking to. But transfer portal recruiting is kind of difficult to cover because there are some guys who tweet out every offer every high school recruit does. But then there are a lot of transfers who don't want any of their information public because they've already been through the recruiting process. They get kind of sick of the hype. And so
that's funny. It kind of depends on the person. Some people crave that attention and want to be wined and dined. Some are sick of it.
You'll find that the FCS guys who have never really been recruited definitely want the attention.
Yeah.
More times than not. Whereas the ECU was after this kid from Maryland, 4-star recruit out of high school, never tweeted anything about offers. He came on a visit to ECU. He also visited state and had some other schools involved, and he just tweeted out, "I'm joining the Wolfpack." No picture or anything after he committed. Nothing about the visits. He just ended up committing. He was like, "I'm going with the Wolfpack." I don't even know if he used exclamation points, but that was how he let everybody know. So it's just you never know how everybody's going to approach it. This other guy who's visiting, or told me he's looking at visiting ECU later this month, said that he's taking a visit this weekend, but he doesn't want to tell me where it's at. So I don't know what that's all about.
I watch Barstool Sports Pick Central every day, and it's the host is a Mississippi State guy who's huge college football, but he's SEC, so he has a different perspective than we do here. And the other guys up there, one's an Ohio State guy, the other one doesn't care about college football. So they look at it a lot different than we do here in Greenville, North Carolina. And they said that the best offseason in sports is the NBA, which at times is better than the regular season itself. So much happens. It's fun to follow. Free agency draft. And he says, and they were talking about now, the second best offseason in sports is college football. And from our ECU fans' perspective, all this stuff happening is the worst thing in the world. It's it should not be this way. They're looking at it almost from they are pro sports. It's entertaining to us. We enjoy it. But they were talking about should there be different seasons in the year, different months for a portal deal, for a signing day, for when guys can transfer. Now that we're in this new world of college football, I also heard one of them say that Brandon Walker, who's been following it forever, say we went years with no changes at all, and now we've experienced almost 20 years of change in a year and a half. Everything changed overnight. So do you see more I don't know about regulations, but maybe more of a breakdown of the calendar of when you can transfer, when you get guys in high school? Do you think we'll see regulations on that? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying because I agree. I mean, I think there has to. Now, will we see the regulations? I don't know because I don't know who's in charge. I guess the NCAA sets the regulations, but then all these teams are just doing their own NIL deal. At some point, somebody's got to step up and do something because there's no guidelines or anything. But I feel like there's got to be a point where, and I put this in the VIP chat the other day, like the transfer portal thing can't just go on 24/7, 365. Like there needs to be a window for, hey, all right, the winter semester ends, maybe like half of December, because then you got Christmas thrown in, you got the bowl games. Like at some point in December, there's a window for when you can enter the portal, visit schools, and commit to schools, because like it's kind of ridiculous that it goes on all throughout December, through Christmas, through the bowl season, through January. Like if you're a coach, I don't know when these guys really get time off. Like it's just all the time. Yeah. Like even for me, it's just all the time. There's always something going on. Then I think post spring there should be another window. You go through spring ball, spring graduation. Then you have another window for, hey, now we got 2 weeks or a month to enter the portal, find a new home before the start of next season. Like, it just shouldn't go on every single day. Like,
and maybe it's just it would make it easier to follow and understand for everybody if there were
like now it's
windows.
It's just strange, and I do think there needs to be windows for that. And I would like to see, I get why they do the sign day in December, because they're scared of coaching changes, in terms of they don't want everybody to sign earlier than that and then have a coach fired or have a coach leave and have guys stuck with their program. But I would do it so the early period is in August. Most of the players in the class commit, as far as high school guys, in the summer. So let them sign in August and then have your regular February signing date. And then say, if your coach leaves, head coach leaves, then they can automatically get released from their NLI if they want to. I just feel like having one in December, having one in February, like it just doesn't make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
That's just my take. I feel like if you had one at all, and it would separate it enough to where if you're a fan, you can get pretty excited about an August, September, or August signing date, because you're like, oh, well, here's all the guys we recruited this summer, and then you can kind of re-energize for February. When you sign 18 guys in December and sign 3 in February, like who's really getting excited about that? It's almost more like a footnote.
All right. Well, you follow it, you work in it, so I like your idea there. It's never going to happen.
No.
Nobody's listening to you.
Nobody's listening. They have the coaches convention, like all these ideas always get thrown out, but does anything actually ever happen that makes sense? Like I don't know. Like the American Football Coaches Association or whatever puts all these ideas on paper, probably sends them to the NCAA, but then like who at the NCAA is taking them seriously?
It's just like a build. They bring it in on a hand cart, and it's like just a giant stack of papers in a giant warehouse, and nobody
listens. They're just collecting their check from the NCAA tournament.
Igoe yesterday, Chandler Honeycutt said Jaquan McMillan, big loss. But guess what? Malik Fleming's going to slide right over. We're good. The problem is...
There is another side of the field, right?
The problem is, my question to him was, okay, that's great. Now, who slides into Malik's spot? He didn't have an answer for that one, but that's why... You did? What's your answer?
You got and recruit.
Okay, that was his answer. So, Steven, I'm going to see if you can have a more specific answer for us. What does that loss of McMillan mean?
It's a big loss. I mean, shutdown corners don't just come through the ECU locker room every day. I mean, he was a legitimate, bona fide shutdown corner.
Elite, first in a long time.
Yeah, elite cover skills. So, and I think Malik Fleming's very good. I think you can, like Chandler says, you can almost count on one side being pretty much locked down for the next year. But the only problem is we haven't seen any of these other corners played because McMillan and Fleming have been so good, and now Nolan Johnson's gone to the portal. He probably will not be coming back, according to my sources. So you've got several young corners in the program, but none of them have played. Now I've attended a few scrimmages where like guys like Jaden Chalmers, Sean Tucker, CJ Crump, some of these young corners have really made several plays that have impressed me. I'm like, man, that guy's got a chance to be good. Now, doing that in a scrimmage and executing consistently in a game is a different deal, but I trust Steve Ellis. I think he's a good enough corners coach. He's got a pretty good pedigree in terms of churning out professional talent. I think they've got enough talent in the program, and they can always switch over Juwan Powell or Jordan Huff, the incoming JUCO guy, to corner to help out. I think they're going to be okay. They just... it hurts to lose McMillan, but as I wrote today, I think the rest of the defense coming back around him, and if those spots get better, the need for a true shutdown cornerback lessens a little bit.
I think this is a good thing. I'm going to say it's a bad thing if the guys second and third string are didn't play because they're bad. But for as much depth as we've talked about on this team, we did see a lot of guys play on both lines, right?
Yes.
But like wide receiver, we saw the same guys every week. Running back, we saw 2 the entire season. And like corners, we saw our main guys every week. Pirates were able to stay healthy in 2021 for the most part at those positions, not on the lines necessarily. But that's what you want, right? Like you got young guys who are getting better at practice, and now it'll be their time to shine. So maybe there's a lot back there, Stephen, we just hadn't seen because the guys on the field have been too good to take off the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's like...
At corner, I don't know about receiver. We'll see.
I feel like several of these guys have now had 2+ years in the program. Now, part of that was a COVID year, but like this is a huge offseason for development of the current roster. Like I see a lot of guys on the roster in their second and third year in Coach Houston's first or second recruiting class that, like, coming out of high school, I was pretty high on. Now they've had a chance to redshirt, develop a little bit, and, like, this is their time. A lot of the guys that have been having success, Scotty Montgomery recruited Tyler Snead, initially recruited McMillan, so those are 2 guys. Holton Ahlers initially recruited by Montgomery. CJ, I think the same way. You've had several young players on defense step up that were recruited by Coach Houston. But now we need to see more of those guys who have been in the program, haven't left, have developed. I think this is kind of the time you see them to step up. Everybody wants to say, let's go to the portal and find somebody. But to me, more important than that is developing your own roster, getting those guys who know the culture, know the program, get them to the point where they're ready to contribute.
If this was like 1972, people would be really excited. Like, all right, let's see all these guys we recruited a couple years ago. But it's 2022 where you have to see it to believe it.
Right.
And, if this guy's not playing, there's something wrong with him. He's not that good. So it's kind of like an old school feel to building a program. Maybe this could be a positive thing for this football team.
Yeah, I think you got to find that balance. I mean, if you can go out and get a shutdown corner from some program from the portal, then sure. But like, you don't want to just, everybody as soon as McMillan left is like, oh, well, we need a corner from the portal now. Well, do we really need another Nigel Knott? I mean, is that necessary?
Or we could use an Adonis Armstrong.
Yeah,
he was what, JUCO? Yeah.
I mean, you just have to make sure that it's the right fit, and half the time you take a guy from the portal, it works out. Half the time it probably doesn't.
I'm excited to see the guys, like you said, that were brought in. We hear their names, and we don't hear from them from 2 years. But by the time we do, they're developed. They're good players.
Demel Hickman, I think, has been in the program for 4 years now, and Coach Ellis talked about him as a guy that he groups in with Nolan Johnson, Malik Fleming, etc. in the preseason. Now he's got a shot to play.
Did you ever really think Warren Saba would be a difference maker? Like, he was just kind of a guy on the team, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you see it with several guys. Sean Bailey didn't really play till his 4th or 5th year, and then he became kind of a mainstay on the offensive line his last 2 or 3 years. So, just because guys don't play a lot early doesn't mean they're capable of not playing at some point.
By the way, we'll talk to Warren Saba Friday on Pirate Radio Live.
Nice.
Live from the Hula Bowl.
I saw DJ Ford post a Instagram story from the UCF locker room today at the Hula Bowl.
We'll see if we can get DJ on as well. Is this? I've never heard of the Hula Bowl. Is this new?
I think it's very recent.
I like it. I mean, it's an opportunity for guys to hopefully be around some coaches, some scouts, things like that.
Anytime you can get a guy who has an opportunity to perform on a stage in front of professional scouts, I think it's a positive. And with the XFL and
exactly.
Is the USFL coming back? What's the deal with that?
This year. What is it, March or April?
I think you got some chances for more contracts. I don't know how much those people are going to get paid, but it helps.
Gene Chizik apparently turned down an opportunity to coach in the USFL to go to North Carolina, right? He's going back there.
That's quite an opportunity to turn down.
As their DC. April 16th, Igoe, opening day.
UNC just keeps turning the clock back. April 16th, opening day. Wow.
Of the USFL. So, Kevin Sumlin in there as a head coach.
Micah, Kevin Sumlin.
We'll call him Kevin Sumlin.
Mike Sumlin.
Mike O'Kane.
So, guys that are just leaving college, I'm guessing they can't play this coming year, or can they? Like, can Warren Saban go suit up in April for the USFL?
Because they are playing real games. Probably they hadn't made roster. Let's see. Yeah. A player selection meeting will be held February 22nd, 23rd. Training camps open March 21st. 38-player roster, 7-member practice squad.
So what are they selecting players from?
That's a great question, because, that's before the NFL draft.
Could you imagine if the USFL holds their own draft?
What if Tyler Snead is like the first pick of the USFL? They used to compete against the NFL, right?
They did.
What if they just draft all the best players and hope one of them goes there? Like Matt Corral gets taken here.
It would be awesome.
And they end up with no players because everybody's like, no, I don't want to play in the USFL.
I love all
Wasn't it Jordan Williams a few years ago that was
first pick of the CFL?
CFL.
And he had a good year.
It was like 3 years after he was done playing at ECU. I'm like, what is going on?
It's really strange. But look, there's opportunities.
I just love all these pretty big name head coaching rejects.
Read it, Igoe. Read that sentence.
A new league like the USFL provides opportunities for coaches as well as players.
There you go.
Opportunity.
Very excited to have this opportunity to be a head coach at the professional level.
That's according to my Kevin Sumlin. So there you go. Opportunity. This is the Opportunity League.
That's a good bunch.
Stephen, thanks for hanging out. OysterColors.net.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure a hearty game thread for ECU. How you like ECU's chances Wednesday night?
Not good. I think they're 2-15 all time against Cincinnati.
Why do I feel so confident about this game?
Hey, what's your thoughts on Brandon?
I have no idea. When's the last time ECU won a
Suggs?
I'm a big fan of Brandon Suggs' game.
Well, thank you for saying that.
I didn't say I'm a Brandon Suggs guy. I didn't say
that was nice of him to say.
I love Brandon Suggs.
You could say it. You're not going to get on the boat anyway.
I'm just saying I'm a fan of Brandon Suggs' game.
That's nice of you to say. That's good to hear.
But you have to realize what his game is, and you can't oversell it like some people do.
Like who? Who's
like
done
the guy who drives a tugboat.
The tugboat driver.
My statement is true. If
the tugboat captain,
if 3-point shooting,
who's so ashamed that when he posts his face on Twitter, he has to cover it because that's how bad the tugboat is.
You are. That is a lie. I am proud to be a Suggs, the Brandon Suggs guy.
And why are you covering your face, man? With your
just to get the full hat picture. Brandon Suggs. If there was no 3-point line, if shooting percentage wasn't a thing and turnovers wasn't a category, Brandon Suggs is All-American.
He actually was shooting, so I'll take blame for this. He was shooting the three well. I can't remember what game it was after. And then I asked him, hey, man, your three-point shooting is going really well. Have you been working on that?
Rat poison!
And he's not made a three since.
You rat poisoned him!
So that's
probably on purpose.
But here's what I'm saying.
Because you want as a dig on me.
Brandon Suggs will make 2 3-pointers tomorrow night in Fifth Third Arena.
That's why I feel so good about their game.
Third, Fifth Arena, whatever it's called.
Cincinnati got hammered by Tulane at home and then hammered SMU at home. They're a weird team. They're up and down.
Yeah, that's the thing that worries me about this game. They crushed SMU, which is a very good team, and they could have very well beaten Memphis on the road.
If you want to be negative, too, you could say ECU's due to get blown out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way over. They have played very exciting basketball all year long. Every single game has been an exciting game, even the loss to Oklahoma, Davidson. It's been a good year. But the problem is this stretch is brutal, and they got to find a way to win some games. Otherwise, they could honestly be looking at a 7-game losing streak.
All right, a stat to consider as we take a timeout and open up the booty bags.
To consider.
Since the NFL expanded to a 14-team playoff 2 years ago, 21 teams have qualified for the playoffs. Of the 11 teams that haven't qualified, including the New York Giants that fired Joe Judge today, only one team has not made a coaching change. That team is the Carolina Panthers.
Rolly.
Adam Schefter, why is he doing this?
He's just
what a shot at the
crapping
Panthers.
all over Panther fans everywhere.
I love it. Keep it coming, Shefty.
Shirley, open up the booty bag. Let's make a winner here. God, we went way over time.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250. Shirley, what do you do?
Caller 12, shrimp taco lunch from Chico's.
We're back after this.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fossil from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch Program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Hey dads, it's back. Plan to join us for our 6th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs. This event will be a fun night of games, music, photo keepsakes, raffle tickets, and of course, dancing. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds will go to Daughters for Dads, which supports local families affected by cancer. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Purchase your tickets today by going to eventbrite.com and search for Daughters for Dads. We will see you Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs.
The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the DAP House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 off drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphouse.com. nc.com.
Hey, this is Troy D., proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
Yo, ho, you're listening to Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Congratulations to J.R. Robertson of Greenville, who picked up lunch from Chico's, a shrimp taco lunch, I should say. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, and
Hungry Pirate.
Yeah, Hungry Pirate, ACP, and more, plus ice cold cervezas and Chico's famous margaritas are always available. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's. Close it out, Clip.
All right, we will wrap it up for a Tuesday. So you find folks Wednesday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. And coming up on Wednesday's show, we'll talk to former Pirate great Connor Norby, who is beginning his pro career with the Baltimore Orioles organization. That and a lot more on the way. Also, our old friend Ariel Epstein going to talk some NFL playoffs with us. That and more coming up Wednesday on Pirate Radio Live. We'll see you then. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 12.